Bloomsbury, Berwick, Danville.
Just 1 hour before kickoff, it's time for the Coach DeFrancesco Show. A conversation between Berwick Bulldogs head coach Carmen DeFrancesco and the voice of the Dogs, Jim Doyle, on Sports Radio HLM. Brought to you by First Columbia Bank and Trust, with you every step of the way. J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling, veteran and military family owned and operated. S.J. Kowalski Heating and Cooling, the way the earth intended. J. Lilo Jewelers, 140 East Main Street in Bloomsburg. Mason's Monogram Service for all your Bulldog merchandise. Neighbor Fence Company, residential and commercial fencing. First Keystone Community Bank, yesterday's traditions, tomorrow's vision. Red's Roofing, the roofing ninjas of Berwick for all your home improvements. Yannick Real Estate, commercial and residential. Alexander Family Dealership, Central Road in Bloomsburg. And by Brookdale Senior Living, 420 Schaefer Road in Bloomsburg. Now, here's Berwick Bulldogs head coach Carmen DeFrancesco and the voice of the Dogs, Jim Doyle, on Sports Radio HLM.
For the second straight week, the Bulldogs are on the road. Tonight here in Yatesville, the Dogs getting ready to take on Pittston area. It'll be the first game of the season for the Patriots, whose game against Holy Redeemer was canceled last Saturday. They did have a preseason scrimmage. Berwick will be trying to bounce back from last Friday's 29-21 loss at Lake Lehman. Carmen, almost nothing went right for your team through the first 3.5 quarters of the game. Lake Lehman led 22-0. Then things turned around. You outscored them 21-7 in the fourth. We had you for 21 yards in total offense at halftime. You ended up with over 200. What turned around in the second half?
I think, Jim, what happened was that special teams, Dre Wilk made a return for us, and that sparked us. Benny Knorr found his sea legs. He got comfortable, and that's why we stress special teams. That sparked us.
Yeah, Benny Knorr did eventually throw very, very well. Sean Sheptock had 2 long receptions, including a spectacular catch. Looks like Sean might have the season that you expect.
Exactly right. We decided to move him around. Now we're going to put him in the slot. We're going to flank him out. We're going to run the option with him. So we're going to use him in a variety of ways. But he's going to have a season that we expected, and we've got to get him the ball.
For the game, you ended up with 98 yards rushing on 35 carries. To be the kind of team you want to be with that triple option, you have to do better than that, don't you?
That's not going to work. Yes, and if you look back at the first series, we had 3 of the 5 first plays on offense false starts, and see things like that. It can't happen, but we have to get that run established, and I think once Benny gets comfortable with the reads, we're going to be just fine.
Yeah, I'm always amused when I hear announcers say this team doesn't want to get into third and long. Well, no one does, no matter what you run. But if you're running that triple option where you're looking for 3 yards here, 4 yards there, that really is devastating, isn't it?
Exactly. The first down play is essential. So we've got to get that run going. I think tonight's going to be a good test for us. We're going to see that odd front, which is going to give us, I think, more clearer reads. So we're expecting to rush the ball well.
And you're asking a lot of a quarterback starting for the first time against a good team in Benny Knorr, and he had to be promising for you that as the game progressed, he looked a lot more confident.
Oh, he was exciting. He made plays. See, the exact philosophy is the quarterback is the hub, and Benny made plays with defenses out of a position. He's the perfect quarterback for that position. He's a grinder. He's a baller. He plays defense. So he's going to get better with each week.
Up next, Carmen will evaluate his team's defensive effort last Friday's opener. You're listening to the Coach DeFrancesco Show on Sports Radio HLM.
We're Alexander Family Buick GMC in Bloomsburg, home of the Blaze Alexander lowest price guaranteed. Whether it's a new GMC Sierra 4x4, Acadia, or Terrain, or any of the full lineup of Buick SUVs, you'll get the lowest price guaranteed. We've got a huge selection of quality pre-owned vehicles too. Local one-owner cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs. Why shop anywhere else when you'll get the best selection, the best financing, and the most for your trade at Alexander Family Buick GMC in Bloomsburg? We're taking deals the other guys won't.
Neighbor Fence Company has fencing for where you want it, serving Columbia, Montour, and Luzerne counties. Neighbor Fence provides top-quality residential and commercial fencing, vinyl, chain link, wood, aluminum, and ornamental fencing, plus vinyl railing and specialty products. Neighbor Fence Company, 1140 State Route 239 in Wapwallopen. Call 570-752-4423 or visit them online at neighborfencecompany.com. Neighbor Fence Company is a proud sponsor of local youth athletic teams.
Surprise that special someone with jewelry from J. Lilo Jewelers in downtown Bloomsburg. Lilo's is a full-service jewelry store offering one of the area's largest selections of diamonds, wedding bands, watches, sterling silver, and gold jewelry. Lilo's repairs jewelry and watches on site. You may also find that one-of-a-kind piece in the popular estate section. Come in and see Jeff for that special gift for that special someone for any occasion at J. Lilo Jewelers, 140 East Main Street, Bloomsburg. J. Lilo Jewelers wishes all athletes success this season.
You're listening to the Coach DeFrancesco Show, a conversation between Berwick Bulldogs head coach Carmen DeFrancesco and the voice of the Dogs, Jim Doyle, on Sports Radio, HLM.
Charlie Trippi Stadium here in Yatesville is the venue for tonight's game as the Bulldogs go against the Patriots of Pittston area. Carmen, last week's loss at Lake Lehman, the Black Knights put 29 points on the board, 317 yards in total offense. Two-part question. Are you disappointed in that performance? And is there something that going into the game you thought you'd be able to do and you just didn't on Friday?
Yeah, we tackled poorly. We were misaligned. We weren't good in coverage. We didn't read our keys. Our coaching staff and I talked, and it's very frustrating. It looked to me like our posture, Jim, on defense just didn't look like we were ready. So, we have got to get that straightened out. But what concerns us now is alignment, misalignment, and tackling.
Had to be a big challenge to play in an opener against a team that ran a very sophisticated passing attack spread and a veteran team. And probably a passing attack that you're not going to face again this season.
You're right. You're right. And our secondary's young, inexperienced. But after watching the film, you look at the game, and you see things happening. And on the way home on the bus, I was just so disappointed. And then as soon as I get home, we put the film on, and there's things. Everything that happened to us last week is fixable, so we're going to get that fixed.
You have some very talented sophomores on this team. Let's talk about two linemen in particular. Bruce Hartman was very active on the defensive line. I know you like Spencer Kishbaugh as a lineman. Good future there. Oh, yeah. Bruce made a great play on the opening play. And Spencer is so athletic. Spencer's a boxer. He's a fighter. And, these two kids are going to be great ones. So we're looking forward to their progress. Dre Wilk in the secondary, he's got the gene pool there. So, we've got some real good youngsters. Last week in our show, I was remiss in not mentioning special teams, but you mentioned Dre Wilk earlier, starting safety, and also that good punt return. Your special teams can be special. I thought they were Friday night. Sean Sheptock had a 57-yard punt. Isaac Tripp, a couple of long kick returns. Jake Lanning's snaps were there. Brendan Hinkle, 3 for 3 and point after touchdowns. Special teams should be a strength all season. Absolutely, and we work hard on them. Coach Lanning, I want to give him credit. He does a great job with our special teams, and in a close game, that can make the difference. But we have a good future there, absolutely. Your high school coach, Jazz Diminick at Mount Carmel, put more emphasis on special teams than maybe any high school coach that I've ever seen. It paid off, and that's got to influence you. It did. It has now. Let's see, 38 years, 39 years. So here's how it goes, Jim. We start practice, we warm up, we stretch, and we go right to special teams. That's an intricate part of our practice plan. Well, you've got the personnel to do it. It'll be interesting to watch them as the season progresses. Isaac Tripp didn't play a year ago. He looks electric. Oh, we have to use him. This is his first year playing. He's a sprinter, and he wants to play. And he's always watching, learning. So you're going to see him
at the slot position and, again, on kickoffs and punt returns.
Tonight's opponent, Pittston area. Later in the show, Carmen will tell us what to expect from the Patriots. But up next, the Bulldogs Spotlight feature. You're listening to the Coach DeFrancesco Show on Sports Radio HLM.
Have you heard the buzz about Bazing? Discover the money-saving benefits of a new Bazing checking account from First Columbia Bank. You'll earn interest and save money with local and national shopping and dining deals. And that's not all. You'll also get cell phone protection, roadside assistance, prescription drug savings, and more. Plus, for a limited time, when you open your new Bazing interest checking, we'll thank you with a free pair of Century earbuds. Now that you know what the buzz is all about, make a beeline to First Columbia Bank and open your account today. Terms and conditions apply.
Red's Roofing, the roofing ninjas of Berwick, are your roofing experts for Luzerne, Columbia, and Montour counties. With 26 years of experience and great rates, why go anywhere else when Red's Roofing will get the job done right for your decks, siding, or roofing? Specializing in metal and rubber shingles, most roofing work is done in one day. So remember the name, Red's Roofing, the roofing ninjas. Call Red's Roofing, 752-4351. Owner Harry Titus, a proud supporter of the Berwick football team.
Mason's Monogramming has the largest selection of Bulldog items in Berwick. Family owned with more than 30 years experience and new Bulldog wear for every age, including masks, tees, polos, sweater shirts, jackets, and hats. They even have brand new indestructible silicone cups, koozies, car coasters, decals, and more. Shop at masonsmonogram.com for their new items and select in-person pickup or shipping right to you. Follow their Instagram at Mason's Monogram for their latest new items. Mason's Monogram service in Berwick. Let them personalize for you.
You're listening to the Coach DeFrancesco Show, a conversation between Berwick Bulldogs head coach Carmen DeFrancesco and the voice of the Dogs, Jim Doyle, on Sports Radio HLM.
Well, tonight, the 38th meeting between Berwick and Pittston area. Tonight's game here at Charlie Trippi Stadium. In our next segment, Carmen will share his scouting report on the Patriots, but now it's time for our weekly feature, Bulldog Spotlight. Tonight, the spotlight is on 6'1", 185-pound senior Peyton Williams. Peyton's in his fourth year in the varsity. He's one of Berwick's most versatile players. We'll see him at linebacker, wide receiver. In the past, we've seen him in the secondary. He can also play quarterback. He's a pretty valuable member of this team, isn't he?
Oh, he is, Jim. He's such a great kid. He's always asking questions at practice. He's one of those kids that when you want him to do something, it's yes, coach. We can put him anywhere. He played a position last week. He never played, but he's just a great athlete. He's coachable. He's smart. So we're going to plug him in. You're going to see him at the wide receiver spot. You'll see him in the slot at backer. We could use him at safety. He is absolutely the most versatile player that we have.
As a wide receiver, he caught a couple passes in that opener. What's his strength as a receiver?
His strength is his positioning. He runs very good routes. He gets positioned properly, and he plays basketball. So when the ball's in the air, he's first to get it, and he gets off the ground quickly.
And you mentioned learning a new position. That would be linebacker. Certainly, he might have some problems in read at this point, but he doesn't lack for physicality, does he?
Exactly, and that's what I think his issue on Friday was the read. So once he gets comfortable there, but he makes it up with his athleticism.
He has played quarterback in the past, so you could use him there to pinch also.
He practices that. That's exactly right. So he could play. It's amazing. He could play, other than the line, he could play every position.
In the Bulldog Spotlight tonight, senior Peyton Williams. Tonight, Peyton and his Bulldog teammates go against the Patriots of Pittston area. Up next, Carmen will evaluate the Patriots offense. You're listening to the Coach DeFrancesco Show on Sports Radio HLM.
Are you looking to meet an elder care need? Do you or a loved one need assistance with any of the instrumental or basic activities of daily living? Brookdale Senior Living has a solution. Brookdale Bloomsburg, located at 420 Schaefer Road, is a premium personal care home offering a family atmosphere along with round-the-clock nursing care. Call 570-387-6868 to learn more. Better yet, we invite you to drop in and meet the Brookdale family and learn how we can offer an optimum aging experience for you or a loved one.
After serving their country proudly, the associates at J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling are ready to serve their community and you directly. They bring their military standards of respect, integrity, and trust to your junk removal needs. Their services include light hauling, contractor cleanup, general labor services, hot tub removal, estate services, and many more. Contact them at 844-GET-JDOG or check out their reviews on Facebook and Google or stop by their homepage at jdog.com.
S.J. Kowalski Heating and Air Conditioning is proud to offer the Air Scrubber by Aris. It reduces exposure to common bacteria and viruses and their health effects. Air scrubbers don't just treat the air, they also help to clean the surfaces of your home, such as countertops, bathrooms, kitchens, and doorknobs. The Air Scrubber is quick and easy, designed to fit into your existing HVAC system. Learn more by calling 1-888-KOWALSKI or on the web at sjkowalski.com.
You're listening to the Coach DeFrancesco Show, a conversation between Berwick Bulldogs head coach Carmen DeFrancesco and the voice of the Dogs, Jim Doyle, on Sports Radio, HLM.
Week 2 of this truncated 2020 season kicks off tonight. For the Bulldogs, it's a matchup against the Patriots of Pittston area here at Charlie Trippi Stadium in Yatesville. The Patriots' season opener against Holy Redeemer was canceled because of COVID-19 issues at Redeemer. They did have a preseason scrimmage against both Redeemer and Hanover area last Saturday. So, Carmen, when you put together a scouting report and told your team what to expect from Pittston area, what did you base that on?
Well, we based it on the scrimmages and last year's film, and they're running the exact defense that they ran last year. The scrimmages, you know how scrimmages are. We really didn't get a lot of tendencies there, but we're expecting to see exactly the same offense that we saw last year and the same defense.
Their quarterback, P.J. Pisano, was the backup a year ago. He ended up starting one game in a win against Crestwood because of an injury to the starter, Mike Nocita. But he's expected to be the full-time starter this season. What can you tell us about him from what you've seen? Does he run the ball? Is he a drop-back quarterback? What?
He's a scrambler. He makes plays with his feet, throws it well. They run some of the same kind of like that option read that we saw last week. So he's a player that we have to be concerned with because he can run the ball.
Another player of concern, Rahim Patterson, very, very athletic senior, is expected to do the bulk of their ball carrying this season. He has to be a concern.
Yeah, he is. And the way we tackled last week is a concern. We have to get our shoulders on him, tackle him. Once he gets turned upfield, he could be an issue.
Up front, you're going to see some of the biggest linemen that you'll see from anybody this season. Their tackles. Stephen Yanchis is 6'5", 340. Brandon Farrell, 6', 290.
Well, we saw it the week before. We're going to see it again. So we're going to be outgunned as far as size goes with the line play. But we like our chances running our triple option against that 50 defense. So I think we're going to get – what's going to happen is Benny is going to get a little – slower read on the dive key, which will help him out. So I think things are going to go well for us.
Getting back to their defense or your defense and what you need to do tonight. Last week you went against a spread offense and a very good one in Lake Lehman. Pittston area seems like a much more conventional offense. Is that what you see?
Exactly right. They are a pro-style offense. They're going to run downhill. They're going to trap you. They're going to power you. They're going to block down, kick out, and we've got to play more physical. I think last week we lacked physical play, and that's a concern for us. And tonight, I think you'll see a change.
Up next, Carmen will evaluate the Pittston area defense. You're listening to the Coach DeFrancesco Show on Sports Radio, HLM.
See the winning lineup of Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and also quality pre-owned vehicles at Bear Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram in Berwick. They have a body shop and a full service center servicing all makes and models, and they've been servicing your community for over 30 years. Bear Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram has earned the highest possible ratings from Chrysler and the prestigious J.D. Power Award for Excellence. Need a truck? Bear has a vast inventory, including 2020 Ram Motor Trend Truck of the Year, or choose one of the 50 new Jeeps in stock. Bear Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, Pine Street in Berwick.
Yannick Real Estate is your full-service real estate agency. Buying, selling, residential, commercial, multifamily, land, and rental management. Call Yannick Real Estate. Owner Mike Yannick, a veteran himself, served his country and has been serving this area for decades. Mike and his staff will guide you through the real estate process. Veterans, be sure to check the VA loan options. Yannick Real Estate, your full-service real estate agency. 1232 West Front Street in Berwick. Call 759-3300.
Northeast Pennsylvania, it's your home. And no matter what stage of life you find yourself in, what you rely on most is security. When that house becomes a home, the moment you get that new car, when your dreams become a reality, it's times like this when you have to look to the experts for advice and financial peace of mind. They're there with innovative products and services to help you with your financial future every step of the way. Together, they will help dreams and goals become reality. They are more than a bank. They're your neighbor. They are First Keystone Community Bank, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
You're listening to the Coach DeFrancesco Show, a conversation between Berwick Bulldogs head coach Carmen DeFrancesco and the voice of the Dogs, Jim Doyle, on Sports Radio, HLM.
The Bulldogs are on the road again tonight, getting ready to play the Patriots of Pittston area here at Charlie Trippi Stadium. It's the second of 3 straight road games to start the season. Carmen, if your team's going to have a successful season, they're going to have to be road warriors, aren't they?
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. And tonight's a big game for us. So, like I said, Pittston's defense, I think it's exactly what we saw last year. We were very successful against them last year. But, again, the odd front defense gives our quarterback a little better situation as far as the reads go on our dive and pitches. So hopefully we'll be more successful running the ball. But, Jim, we've got to establish that running game. Everything revolves around us getting that offense going on the ground.
Coach Barberi describes his defense as a 3-4. You don't see a lot of that in high school, do you?
Yeah, no. You know what? It's more of a 50. He brings those outside backers up on the line. Yeah, it's a 3-4, but when you take those outside backers, put them on the line, it's a 52 defense. What we're concerned about is their nose guard, who is right over the center. He does a great job. He's a good player. He's a concern for us.
Yeah, that nose guard is just a sophomore, David Sudo, and when I talked to Coach Barberi, he mentioned him. He says he's going to be very, very good. You think he's pretty good right now?
He's real good right now. Yeah, he stays low. He gets up under that center and drives backwards. And when you have a guy over your center and he's a good one, you might have to double him. And if that's what we have to do, then we're going to be in trouble there. But we have a good center, so I think he's going to handle them well.
A couple other people on their personnel that Coach Barberi likes a lot. Linebacker John Simons, he was their second leading tackler a year ago. And then we mentioned Rahim Patterson as a running back. He's at that safety spot. Those people can go get you.
Yeah, they're athletes. The backer, he has great range. He's got great range. So, he's going to play assigned football now. So we're expecting him he should be coming down, taking our dive option away. But if that happens, we can get the ball on the perimeter and see what happens.
Would you describe their style of defense as a read and react, or will they come after you?
I think it's read and react, yeah. And they're going to have to play that way against us. If they come after us, that's going to open up gaps for us, and that's what we're hoping for.
A sign of the times, this is the only game the Bulldogs will play this season on natural grass, which is unusual. I mean, years ago it was just the opposite. But big deal, little deal, no deal at all?
Nah, it's no deal at all. Now, what we'll do is we've been practicing on the grass. So we'll practice. We've practiced 2 days on the grass, and then we'll go to our turf. But you know what? It's not a big deal anymore. No.
The COVID-19 situation, game night, what differences were there at Lake Lehman than haven't been in previous years?
It was eerie. So we go out there and you're warming up and you're looking around. The first thing that strikes you is the stadium's empty, and I felt like we were like in a JV game. And what was interesting during the course of the action was you can hear the opposition's calls. I'm sure they could hear ours. It was just a real eerie feeling, and I never realized how much a part of high school football are the fans and the band and the cheerleaders. It's different.
When the coaches and captains came out early for the coin flip.
Yes.
Just one captain either way. Was that part of the regulations?
Exactly. I got to tell you a story about the coin flip. So we go over it beforehand. So Jake Lanning and I are going over the scenarios. And so I said to Jake, if we win the toss, we'll take the ball. If they win the toss, they'll defer. If they defer, we'll take the ball. So we flip the coin up, and we win the toss, and I misspoke and said, we'll defer to the second half. And then I went, oh, no, wait, no. And the referees were good about it. Jake looked at me. I looked at Jake, and I said to myself, I can't believe I just did that all these years coaching. But that was just one funny thing. But, yeah, there's just one captain. We don't shake hands. What's got me a little concerned is, we're wearing masks. The officials are wearing masks. Everybody's wearing masks. And then you've got 22 players out there banging it around. It's just a odd situation.
Sign of the times.
Sign of the times, yeah.
Well, Carmen, thanks again for your time. Best of luck in getting victory number 1 on the road here tonight.
Thank you very much, Jim. Okay.
Join us again next Friday for another edition of the Coach DeFrancesco Show prior to the Bulldogs game at Williamsport. Stay tuned now for Berwick at Pittston area football on Sports Radio HLM.
You've been listening to the Coach DeFrancesco Show on Sports Radio HLM. Brought to you by First Columbia Bank and Trust, with you every step of the way. J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling, veteran and military family owned and operated. S.J. Kowalski Heating and Cooling, the way the earth intended. J. Lilo Jewelers, 140 East Main Street in Bloomsburg. Mason's Monogram Service for all your Bulldog merchandise. Neighbor Fence Company, residential and commercial fencing. First Keystone Community Bank, yesterday's traditions, tomorrow's vision. Red's Roofing, the roofing ninjas of Berwick for all your home improvements. Yannick Real Estate, commercial and residential. Alexander Family Dealership, Central Road in Bloomsburg. And by Brookdale Senior Living, 420 Schaefer Road in Bloomsburg. Now, stay tuned for Berwick Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DeFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM. Bloomsburg, Berwick, Danville.
Sports Radio HLM presents Berwick Bulldogs football. Brought to you by First Columbia Bank and Trust, with you every step of the way. Forge Pub and Eatery, West 11th Street in Berwick. Bear Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram in Berwick. Berwick Dental Arts, quality care for your dental health. Berwick Notary Center, Orange Street in Berwick. Mason's Monogram Services for all your Bulldog merchandise. The Medicine Shop, East 9th Street in Berwick. Neighbor Fence Company, residential and commercial fencing. First Keystone Community Bank, yesterday's traditions, tomorrow's vision. Red's Roofing, the roofing ninjas of Berwick for all your home improvements. Yannick Real Estate, commercial and residential. The Mayo Funeral Homes of Berwick and Chickshitty. Your Berwick State Farm agents Lori Powell, Sean Black, and Melissa Price. Hometown agents who understand Berwick's needs. Riverview Block Inc. of Berwick. Alexander Family Dealership, Central Road off Route 11 in Bloomsburg. Axis Gymnastics Academy, East 7th Street in Bloomsburg. Romeo's Italian Submarines and Sasser Sweet Stop, 1306 Orange Street, Berwick. Independence Ford, Route 11 in Bloomsburg. J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling, veteran and military family owned and operated. Tri-County Lumber, South Poplar Street in Berwick. Welsh's Towing and Repair, towing, recovery, and lockout services. S.J. Kowalski Heating and Cooling, the way the earth intended. Jeffrey McKinnon, financial advisor with Ameriprise Financial Services, Inc. With the right financial advisor, life can be brilliant. J. Lilo Jewelers, 140 East Main Street in Bloomsburg. And by Brookdale Senior Living, 420 Schaefer Road in Bloomsburg. Now with Andy Lickney, here's the voice of the Dogs, Jim Doyle, on Sports Radio HLM.
Good evening, everyone. Tonight from Charlie Trippi Stadium in Yatesville, it's the Bulldogs against the Patriots of Pittston area. I am Jim Doyle along with Andy Lickney. The producer of this broadcast is Raven Klein. Well, the long-awaited 2020 season kicked off for Berwick last week, and it did not go well for the Bulldogs, particularly early on. They really struggled in the opening half, ended the half with only 21 yards in total offense, trailed with 5:09 to go in the third quarter to a very good Lake Lehman team, 22-0. But the bright side for Berwick is they played very, very well from that point on, made a game of it, and had over 200 yards in total offense in the second half, and ended up losing 29-21. Tonight, they'll take on a Pittston area team that's playing for the first time. Pittston area was supposed to open the season at Holy Redeemer last Saturday afternoon. Redeemer with some COVID-19 issues, so that game has been canceled. So this is the season opener for the Patriots, who returned just 5 starters from a team a year ago that was 4-7. They lost some really key people, including their starting quarterback, Mike Nocita, their top running back, and Dylan Lukachko. And they had a terrific wide receiver in Andrew Kravchik, who had 42 catches for 827 yards and 7 touchdowns. So there's a lot of talent to be replaced for the Patriots. And the Bulldogs hoping to get their first win and hoping to pick up where they left off in the second half of that game at Lake Lehman. Andy Lickney with us for Bulldogs football tonight. And Andy, if Berwick can continue what they started in the second half, they can have a good night tonight.
They can. You know, some differences. I think the Lake Lehman team was surprisingly excellent. I mean, we knew they were going to be good, but they were a step up from good for a first game, no scrimmage execution and all of that. The talent and the experience just overwhelmed Berwick early, and there were opening night jitters. I think I counted defensively 8 people were starting at positions they had never started a varsity game at. And that's a world of difference. Offensively, they had trouble just getting set and getting the cadence call made early in that game. But a lot of promise in how well they came back toward the end.
It was the first game for Berwick playing the triple option. You want that to be a running attack. You want that to be 4 yards here, 4 yards there. A couple of penalties early on hurt them, set them behind the sticks. They never looked really comfortable. 35 carries total for 98 yards. That's not enough.
I thought they looked better in the second half. At a certain point, they started getting that first fullback veer dive to Aiden Mason. And once you get that, then the other parts do come. So it was very promising that they started executing that fullback dive very, very well. If they can carry that over into this game, they should be a lot stronger. When teams start to key in and come down on that, then your quarterback and your pitch will be there. But that first element has to become threatening, and it did in the second half. Now, Aiden Mason bumped up a little. Didn't practice much this week. They're hoping he's able to go strong in this one. Same with Blake Maurer. Not 100% struggle. They're going to try to play him one way offensively. You know, and you start losing the star seniors, the named seniors, it makes it tough.
And boy, speaking of star seniors, Blaine Cleaver out indefinitely, maybe for the whole season. That you just can't overstate how much that means to Berwick. He was probably going to be the starting quarterback. He was for sure going to be the best defensive player. He's terrific.
He certainly was. Jim, he's intimidating just standing next to him. You and I stood next to him last week, and a gentle soul, a wonderful guy to talk to, gave us a lot of insights at positions and how things were looking. You know, the way we can't talk to coaches who are much busier during the pregame. But an intimidating presence just by his size, his physique. You look at his arms. He's a hitter, Division I type of kid. And, boy, to lose that. And he's even more intimidating when he puts the helmet on. He's, I didn't see much of the young Halliday kid from Southern Columbia last year. I saw a little bit in playoffs, but even then he wasn't playing full games. And I know he was as good as they come, but, for what I've seen with regularity, Blaine Cleaver, as good as they come.
The other thing that made last week so difficult is you run into a very, very sophisticated passing offense, probably the best passing offense they're going to face all year. Tonight, more conventional, pro-style offense by Pittston area. We don't know what we're going to see from the Patriots, this being their season opener, but that should be a little easier for Berwick's defense.
It should. P.J. Pisano will get the start. He's thrown 46 passes in his career, completed 15, but had a very good winning performance against Crestwood in that game last year. But when you look at the receivers, Jim, you went through sort of an all-star cast of receivers who've graduated, some tremendous people. They don't have the experience out there receiving. They're going to have to try to mix the run with the pass, maybe play action. Keep P.J. Pisano from having to win the game from the quarterback position. They're all going to have to chip in offensively. And like you said, what offense do you see when you haven't seen a scrimmage? Well, we'll be finding out in about a half hour.
Andy will be by later with the keys to tonight's game. When we return, we'll hear from Nick Barberi, the head coach of the Patriots of Pittston area. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Do you have the right financial advisor to help you reach your goals? Ameriprise Advisors can create a personalized, goal-based plan to help you prepare for whatever life brings, so you can feel more confident about your financial future. Call Jeffrey McKinnon, Certified Financial Planner with McKinnon Financial Group, a financial advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services, LLC. 570-520-4137. The office is located at 118B East 3rd Street in Berwick, Pennsylvania. Ameriprise Financial Services, LLC. Member of FINRA and SIPC.
Northeast Pennsylvania, it's your home. And no matter what stage of life you find yourself in, what you rely on most is security. When that house becomes a home, the moment you get that new car, when your dreams become a reality, it's times like this when you have to look to the experts for advice and financial peace of mind. They're there with innovative products and services to help you with your financial future every step of the way. Together, they will help dreams and goals become reality. They are more than a bank. They're your neighbor. They are First Keystone Community Bank. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Yannick Real Estate is your full-service real estate agency. Buying, selling, residential, commercial, multifamily, land, and rental management. Call Yannick Real Estate. Owner Mike Yannick, a veteran himself, served his country and has been serving this area for decades. Mike and his staff will guide you through the real estate process. Veterans, be sure to check the VA loan options. Yannick Real Estate, your full-service real estate agency. 1232 West Front Street in Berwick. Call 759-3300.
Mason's Monogramming has the largest selection of Bulldog items in Berwick. Family owned with more than 30 years experience and new Bulldog wear for every age, including masks, tees, polos, sweater shirts, jackets, and hats. They even have brand new indestructible silicone cups, koozies, car coasters, decals, and more. Shop at masonsmonogram.com for their new items and select in-person pickup or shipping right to you. Follow their Instagram at Mason's Monogram for their latest new items. Mason's Monogram service in Berwick. Let them personalize for you.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football. WHLM Bloomsburg. WBWX Berwick.
HLM. Bulldogs get set to take on the Patriots of Pittston area, but quite frankly, it feels more like October the 18th than September the 18th. It's cool, very, very windy. Temperature's supposed to dip down into the 30s by the time we're done here tonight. Berwick playing on natural grass for the first and only time this season, taking on these Patriots. Mike Nocita had his moments as quarterback last season for Pittston area. Nocita has graduated, and senior P.J. Pisano will be the new starter for the Pats. Pittston area head coach Nick Barberi on what his team needs from Pisano for a successful season.
Well, I just need him to take care of the ball. Run our offense within the constraints of our offense and take care of the ball. He had one start last year when Mike was injured against Crestwood, and he played great, and we won that game, and that was a big win for us. So I think if he plays within himself and takes care of the ball and motivates the guys around him, he'll be fine.
I know in defense you're really counting on John Simon at the linebacker spot. Tell us about him.
He's a hard-working kid. He's really transformed himself into a physical, strong linebacker. We rely on him to be our run stopper in that 3-4 scheme. So, for his development the last 2 years, he was second on the team in tackles last year, and we expect him to be the leader this year.
This will be a little tough. You're going into a game against Berwick. You haven't played a game, although you had a scrimmage. They have. What are your biggest concerns going into this game?
Well, the concerns on our end are always those first game jitters that you have. The mistakes that you may make, and substitutions, and special teams, which you don't really do a lot of in scrimmages. So for us, that's the first game issue. And then the fact that we're playing Berwick as our first game, just a historic program with a ridiculously fast defense and some really talented players on offense. It's a tough opener for us.
They're going with some triple option this season, or trying to do so in the early going. What are the keys to stopping that?
Well, that's anytime you have triple option, it's all about the discipline of your defense. You have to assign dive, you have to assign quarterback, you got to assign pitch. So, again, as a first game, that's a tough assignment because, we're going to have to be very disciplined as to who has what responsibilities and not sticking your nose in where it doesn't belong.
Pittston area head coach Nick Barberry, down his 4th season as head man of the Patriots, who are playing their season opening game tonight. This is kind of a big year for Nick Barberry in his 4th season. And it's big because the 4 previous coaches in this program were let go after just 3 seasons each. So kind of a milestone season for him. His son, Rob, is a wide receiver on this team, and Rob will be the 3rd generation of Barberry's playing here at Pittston area. Nick's father, Bob, for whom the field house down below us to our right is named, was a very successful coach here from 1966 to 1988. Ended his career with 146 wins, 91 losses, and 5 ties. Against Nick Barberry, in his 4th season as head coach, 14-19. His career mark, including 4-7 a season ago. Pittston area against Berwick. We'll check the starting lineup for both teams when we return. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLN.
Whether it's the heat of the preseason or the heart of the postseason, teams will always get a little boost from playing at home. Speaking of a boost at home, State Farm can boost your savings when you combine your homeowner's insurance with your auto coverage. So score one for the home team. Talk to State Farm agents Lori Powell or Sean Black in Berwick, or Melissa Price in Nescapec about big savings for combining home and car coverage. Give State Farm agents Melissa Price, Sean Black, or Lori Powell a call today.
See the winning lineup of Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and also quality pre-owned vehicles at Bear Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram in Berwick. They have a body shop and a full service center servicing all makes and models, and they've been servicing your community for over 30 years. Bear Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram has earned the highest possible ratings from Chrysler and the prestigious J.D. Power Award for Excellence. Need a truck? Bear has a vast inventory, including 2020 Ram Motor Trend Truck of the Year, or choose one of the 50 new Jeeps in stock. Bear Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, Pine Street in Berwick.
Quality care for your dental health at Berwick Dental Arts, 105 West 9th Street in Berwick. State-of-the-art equipment comes together with a tradition of 45 years of personalized care. From the youngest to the oldest patient, let Berwick Dental Arts doctors and staff take care of every aspect of your dental needs. They'll process all types of insurances. Make your appointment today. Call Berwick Dental Arts friendly staff at 752-4542. Berwick Dental Arts, making smiles beautiful.
S.J. Kowalski Heating and Air Conditioning sells comfort. Since 1972, S.J. Kowalski understands the importance of doing business locally. They service what they sell and take pride in customer satisfaction. S.J. Kowalski is a trained comfort specialist, a Lennox dealer, and they are Northeastern Pennsylvania's premier dealer of Mitsubishi ductless mini-split systems. S.J. Kowalski also sells and installs energy-efficient Renai water heaters and geothermal systems. Call 1-888-KOWALSKI and ask about special promotions and zero-interest financing.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football. WHLM Bloomsburg. WBWX Berwick.
HLM.
Cool, windy night here at Yatesville as the Bulldogs get set for their second game of the season, taking on the Pittston area Patriots. Here's the starting lineup offensively for Berwick. At the wide receivers, we'll see number 4, Sean Sheptock, a 6'2", 210-pound senior speedster. Couple of catches, both long ones, in that opener against Lake Lehman. 30 yards and 45 yards. He also ran for a touchdown in that season-opening game. The other wideout, number 19, Peyton Williams. He is 6'1", 185, a senior. Couple of catches for 21 yards. Another receiver that had 2 catches in the opener, Braden Boone, a 5'8", 150-pound junior. At the left tackle, number 56, Nate Schraub, a 5'10", 190-pound senior. Big Ethan Hughes starts at the left guard spot. He's number 61, 6'3", 295, a senior. Jake Lanning is the starting center, wearing number 65. He is 6'2", 215 pounds, a senior. Jordan Young starts at right guard. He wears number 77. 6'1", 240, a senior. Xander Unger, number 70, is the right tackle. 6'3", 250 pounds, a junior. The quarterback, just the second start of his career, Benny Knorr, wears number 17, 5'10", 175-pound junior. Ran for a couple of touchdowns last Friday. Also completed 7 of 14 passes for 128 yards. The fullback in this triple option, and a key to it going, is number 16, Aiden Mason, 5'10", 220-pound junior. Against Lake Lehman, 12 carries for 50 yards. He is the Bulldogs' leading rusher from a year ago, 720 yards and 5 touchdowns in 2019. Andy mentioned he's not 100%. Neither is Blake Maurer, another player they're counting on to run the football. 5'8", 170-pound senior against Lake Lehman, 4 carries for 28 yards. Devin Smith is a player we might see in that backfield as well. 5'8", 150-pound senior, and also Logan Smith, a 5'7", 160-pound junior. That is the starting lineup offensively for the Bulldogs under Carm DiFrancesco in his second season as head coach, but his 24th overall. His career mark, 161 wins, 101 losses. We'll check the starters for the Patriots when we return. You're listening to Berwick Football on Sports Radio HLM.
Forge Pub and Eatery on 11th and Mulberry in Berwick is where you need to go when you want a delicious homemade meal. Even the salad dressings are scratch-made. Open every day at 11 with free delivery to the Berwick area. And check out their Facebook page to get the daily specials. They have a full bar, 10 beers on tap with 5 rotating seasonal brews, and an extensive selection of domestic and craft beers. It's the perfect place to go out with colleagues or for date night. Forge will always impress. Forge Pub and Eatery in Berwick is a proud supporter of the Berwick Bulldogs football team.
IndependenceFord.com is officially announcing the biggest pre-owned vehicle sale in Independence Ford's 35-year history. Huge discounts, great trade values, and the lowest interest rate in years. If you need a vehicle, now is the time. Need a deal on a new vehicle? How about 0% for 84 months on 2019 F-150s? And ask about their lifetime oil change program on all new car sales. Now is the time to shop IndependenceFord.com. Independence Ford, 3101 Columbia Boulevard. Better people, better prices.
Berwick Notary Center, 1544 Orange Street, State Route 93, has been serving the Berwick community for over 50 years with the highest quality service as well as the lowest prices available. They offer services for driver's licenses, instant camera cards, registration renewals, boat, ATV, and snowmobile transfers. And they are messenger and agent approved. Open Monday through Friday, 9 till 5, and Saturday, 9 till 1. Check out their Facebook page or email them directly at berwicknotary@yahoo.com. Berwick Notary proudly supports the Berwick Bulldogs. Go Dogs!
Welsh's Towing and Repair proudly supports the Berwick Bulldogs and wishes them a successful year. Welsh's Towing and Repair has a long tradition of helping. You can call Welsh's 24/7 at 759-9737 if you are in need of a tow, jumpstart, tire change, are locked out, or to request them on scene if you're in an accident. Welsh's accepts all major insurance and motor clubs, and they offer all types of preventive maintenance and state inspections for cars, trucks, and motorcycles. Welsh's Towing and Repair, South Mercer Street in Berwick, and at their South Center Storage Facility, Columbia Boulevard in Berwick.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football. WHLM Bloomsburg. WBWX Berwick.
HLM.
Stadium in Yatesville is the venue for tonight's game as Berwick takes on Pittston area. The 38th meeting between these two schools. Berwick has dominated this series. They lead 35-2, including 46-0 last season. Bulldogs have won 14 straight. The last Pittston area win, you have to go back to 2006. It was a wild one at Crispin Field. 35-34 in triple overtime. Here are the starters for the Patriots of Pittston area. At the tight end, we'll see number 26, John Simons. He's a terrific defensive player as a linebacker, and he'll play the tight end spot on offense. 6 foot, 210-pound senior. The Patriots very, very big at the tackle spots. None bigger than number 79, Steven Yanchis, the left tackle. 6'5", 340 pounds, a senior. Joe Galonis is the left guard. He is 6'4", 217, a senior. Tegan Raboli starts at center. He wears number 64. He is 6 foot, 180 pounds, a senior. The right guard is number 74, Jack Albert, 6 foot, 235-pound junior. At the right tackle, number 66, Brandon Farrell, 6 foot, 290-pound junior. So again, those tackles 340 and 290. At one wide receiver position, we'll see number 12, David Bem. He's a big guy, 6'5", 188 pounds, a senior. We'll also see number 2, Anthony Thomas. He is a 5'11", 145-pound senior. And I mentioned Rob Barberry, the son of head coach Nick Barberry. He will play some wide out, 5'10", 155 pounds, just a sophomore. The quarterback is P.J. Pisano, number 5. Started one game a year ago, as you heard Nick Barberry say. Led them to a victory over Crestwood in that game. 5'11", 175-pound senior. Rahim Patterson is the starting tailback. He wears number 21. He's very athletic, 5'11", 165-pound senior. Terrific secondary player on defense. Carried only 17 times a year ago. Figures to get a much heavier load this season. At the fullback, a player they really like is a sophomore, number 34, David Sudo. He is 5'11", 206 pounds. Those are the starters for the Patriots of Pittston area under Nick Barberry in his 4th season as head coach. This is their season opener. They did get a scrimmage in the preseason against Hanover, but their regular season game against Holy Redeemer was canceled because of COVID-19 issues at Redeemer. So it's Berwick against Pittston area. The keys to tonight's game, Andy Lickney.
Well, when you look at it, Berwick has to execute their triple offense offensively. Once you commit to it, hey, you're committed. You got to be able to do it. And it came on solid in the second half. And we haven't seen many of the weapons that are part of the whole package. We understand there's some other plays besides the triple option. We haven't seen much of the quarterback running or the pitch. And those are the big plays that often go. But in the second half, they got it going. Now, they have the man to run it in Aiden Mason. He veers himself from right behind the quarterback at a fullback and runs toward the tackles, taking the handoff. Now, they ride him, and whether they give it to him or not depends on the option read. Are they overplaying that, or are they letting him run? They're concerned against this team because this team has a very strong inside linebacker in John Simons. But they play 2 inside linebackers, and you can very easily come up to the line of scrimmage, make a call, and run the opposite way where he's going to be backside. But, they're going to be solid everywhere. They're going to play the dive with the nose, with the tackle, with the inside linebacker. But Aiden Mason has the advantage. He's going from inside out. Everyone else is coming inside to tackle him. He has a 4 or 5 step head of steam. He's a strong runner. And if some blocking gets some interference and creates that lane for him, he's going to go, as we saw in the second half of the game last year. If they need help to stop him, all of a sudden the outside part of the option goes. You keep it, you have the quarterback run, or you have the quarterback pitch it later downfield, or at the line of scrimmage. So they want that option to go. Now, Pittston realizes they have to stop it. Now, on the chalkboard, you can draw it up and say, you guys stop the dive, you guys have the quarterback, you guys have the pitchman, and they'll put some variation in case you start to block it or look at it a certain way where you can exchange assignments and make it happen. But this is the field, not the chalkboard. Your people have to be able to react. It's been an odd year. No one knew Berwick was running this option. We didn't know until less than 2 weeks ago, their first scrimmage against Southern Columbia, where we saw it for the first time, and we just caught when they were going to run it. When did Pittston learn Berwick would run option? Probably less than 2 weeks ago. And those 2 weeks of practice are early, and while you have a little bit more time just to dedicate to what Berwick's doing, you still have to dedicate yourself to working your offense, working your specialty team, working against other plays that you may expect to see, not solely option. So how prepared will the Pittston defense be? Well, we'll have to see. That's going to come out. It's their first game. We'll find out how well they do against it. When you flip it around, Berwick has some concerns. They have to stop a pretty good running back in Rahim Patterson. His nice size is 5'11", 165, and he's very, very quick. We are playing on grass, so people won't look as quick, but he's a quick one, and Berwick realizes they're going to have to key on him and stop that running game. If he forces him to pass, it goes to quarterback P.J. Pisano. Now, he had a nice win in the one game he started last year. They were very pleased at how well he played. But Berwick hasn't had a whole lot to see of it. Are they going to run the same thing that they ran last year? Will they come out with a different type of offense? Pisano also, besides a passing threat, although he's lost a lot of those great receivers from last year, is a threat to run. So it's kind of an unknown for Berwick. They're playing a team that hasn't played a game. We'll see what happens when Berwick's defense is out there. They're going to have to look to stop just about anything that can be presented. but the defense with the changes should be strong.
Andy, this may be the first Berwick game in history in which there is not a single Berwick fan on their sideline. We don't know the situation with tickets. Chances are they weren't given any. There are a handful of who we assume are parents down below us here on the home side. Right. The band and cheerleaders are here. But look at those bleachers on the far side, not a single person.
And no one on the sideline outside of people who've signed the waiver. Some of the media came in and wanted to go stand on the Berwick sideline. They were told, no, you can't go on the field. You haven't signed the waiver. They asked for the waiver. They didn't have the waiver. So they're going to be scattered about in the press box or up the top or wherever. But no one in the stands on the opposite side and no one on the Berwick sidelines outside of their own people. It's very, very strange. My understanding is when they counted players on both teams, cheerleaders and band, they were left to give 2 tickets for each senior player, and they're hoping to rotate to the juniors next time and then the sophomores. But I guess some of it is dependent upon changing guidelines from the state.
Beautiful facility here. It was dedicated back in 1988 and dedicated to the oldest living NFL first-round draft pick, and that is Charlie Trippi. Berwick against Pittston area, back with the kickoff. You're listening to Bulldogs Football on Sports Radio, HLM.
IndependenceFord.com is officially announcing the biggest pre-owned vehicle sale in Independence Ford's 35-year history. Huge discounts, great trade values, and the lowest interest rate in years. If you need a vehicle, now is the time. Need a deal on a new vehicle? How about 0% for 84 months on 2019 F-150s? And ask about their lifetime oil change program on all new car sales. Now is the time to shop IndependenceFord.com. Independence Ford, 3101 Columbia Boulevard. Better people, better prices.
If you have a child that's interested in gymnastics, or if you've been practicing the sport for years, then Access Gymnastics Academy is where you want to be. Their dedicated coaches will teach you everything you need to know to perform your best, from the basics of flexibility, form, and style, to advanced techniques that will improve your rhythm and style during a routine. Call Heidi Rebuck at Access Gymnastics Academy at 570-441-5969. That's 570-441-5969. Now enrolling for beginner to advanced classes at 917 East 7th Street in Bloomsburg.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs Football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog Football. WHLM Bloomsburg. WBWX Berwick.
HLM.
Just about set to go with the kickoff to this one as Berwick about to take on Pittston area. I misspoke earlier. I mentioned that this stadium named after Charlie Trippi. He actually is the oldest living number 1 draft pick in the NFL in his day. Had a terrific career here, then went to Georgia, then played on an NFL championship team in Chicago. They were the Cardinals at the time. And a veteran coach once said that Charlie Trippi is the greatest college football player ever. You think, well, that's pretty high praise, especially when it's from Bear Bryant. He's the one that said it.
Yeah, I'll say.
But a really, really nice facility. As I mentioned, natural grass, the only time Berwick will play on the turf. We were down there. It's in great shape. Obviously, they haven't played a game yet this season. Berwick's going to kick it off. We'll get a look at Pittston area's offense to start, as they'll be moving from our right to our left. The officiating crew, Greg Zumchak is the referee. The umpire, Frank Galicki. John Basic is the linesman. The line judge, Christopher Basic. Stan Zaneski is the back judge. The side judge is Chad Obert.
You mentioned the Charlie Trippi Stadium, but it's Bob Barberi Field, Jim. And his son, Nick, is the head coach of this team, and his son, a player on the team.
Mentioned that earlier. Three generations of Barberis as deep for Pittston area. Rahim Patterson, Anthony Thomas, Gino Trabosky. Wind was really blowing earlier. It's died down a little bit, but the wind is at the back of the kicker. Hinkle, his kick comes up short, and Pittston area is slow to get there, and I think Peyton Williams might be on the football. He is. So Berwick gets a break early on as Pittston area did not react to that short kick, and the Bulldogs will take over at the Patriot 28-yard line.
I saw the separation, how deep they were, and then I saw the kick coming up. I said, that's going to be trouble because the up people aren't going to go back and field that. Peyton Williams had the best shot, but I think it popped away from him, and Tajee Taylor eventually got the recovery of that. One or the other, Berwick was going to get it as they wrestled underneath amongst themselves.
So 1st and 10 Bulldogs. They move from our left to our right against a Pittston area 3-4 defense. We'll set that defense after this opening play. As Benny Knorr, his second career start under center, a wing to either side. Aiden Mason is the running back directly behind. Aiden Mason gets the call, breaks through inside the 20, cuts into the outside to the 15-yard line for a first down. Pittston area defensively, Joe Galonis, David Sudo, and Noah Lyons, the front three. Outside linebackers, Tegan Raboli and David Ben. John Simons and Jimmy Spindler inside. The corners, Shane McCracken and Gino Trabosky. The safeties, Anthony Thomas and Rahim Patterson. 13 yards on the carry by Aiden Mason.
Veering from the center of the field to the right. Really got a nice run out of that.
Here is the 1st and 10 call. In motion comes Devin Smith. The call straight ahead to Aiden Mason, and he is buried. It looks like they have Yanches in there defensively. I did not give him in that starting lineup, but he's 6'5" and 340. He holds that to a 2-yard gain, 2nd and 8.
More of an inside fullback dive that time. On the opening play of the 13-yarder, Jim, wonderful blocking downfield. Something I didn't notice as much last week, but must have been a practice emphasis.
2nd down call, Berwick from the Pittston area 13-yard line. Quick out to Sean Shepdock. He turns the corner at the 10 to the 5 and hit hard, knocked out of bounds at about the 2, maybe the 3-yard line.
In the scrim with Southern Columbia, I saw them try that, and Southern's defensive end punched it away. I'm thinking, wow, that's going to be a great play. Little sideways pass. He's right at the line of scrimmage, but it's forward. He gets it. If the corner's playing off him, he has that speed, shake and bake ability, and large frame to make things happen.
10 yards on the reception. 1st and goal, Berwick at the Pittston area 3-yard line. Knorr under center. Fakes handoff, keeps the football himself, lowers the shoulder, and will get maybe a yard to the 2-yard line. Benny Knorr had a couple of short rushing touchdowns against Lake Lehman in the season opener.
They like to dive Aiden Mason, and then he follows the dive back. That's how they scored those touchdowns last week, 2 of them for the quarterback. They cut the distance about in half there. You may see a similar play or give it to Aiden Mason. We'll see which way they go.
2nd and goal, Berwick from the 2. 2 receivers to the right. Devin Smith in the slot. From the 2-yard line, Knorr, long count, keeps the ball himself, goes off the right side, tries to get into the end zone, and is knocked back just short of the goal line.
Yeah, he got to the goal and then got hit backwards, Jim. I was looking to the side to see if the officials there, the linesmen, were going to raise their hands. But they're actually not even giving him, in my mind, where his forward progress is. They're going to stay still a yard and a half short.
3rd down and goal, Berwick from the 1-yard line. Devin Smith on a wing to the left. Blake Maurer to the right. Aiden Mason behind quarterback Benny Knorr. Maurer goes in motion. Knorr is going to throw a pass intended for Maurer and knocked down by Patterson on the far side.
Either that or it came up a little bit short. Rolling out with protection, and then one of his protectors stepped into the end zone. He tried to kind of shuffle it. Little overhand toss, but it comes up short or was batted away. Jim, Berwick made it easy getting down to the 3, and then all of a sudden, will this drive stall out? We'll see.
4th down and goal, Berwick at the 1-yard line. Bulldogs trying to cash in on the recovery of the opening kickoff. Knorr from the 1. Maurer goes in motion, a pitch to him. He sweeps to left side. Blake Maurer's in for the touchdown. Maurer goes in motion right to left, takes the pitch, goes in from 1 yard out, and Berwick has the lead.
Yeah, very nice. They hadn't attacked the periphery yet. They were getting stuffed inside by the goal line defense and all the size that Pittston can throw in there. You mentioned these big tackles that they've been able to alternate and get in there. You know, the 290-pounder in Farrell, the 340-pounder in Yanchis. So take it to the outside on the pitch. Blake Maurer gets the 1-yard touchdown.
Extra point attempt coming from Brendan Hinkle. Braden Boone will hold. Snap by Jake Lanning is there. The kick is up, and the kick is good. Time out of the field. 9:20 to go, opening quarter. Berwick 7, Pittston area nothing. You're listening to Bulldogs Football and Sports Radio, HLN.
Riverview Block of Berwick, with over 75 years of service, can handle all your block and concrete needs. They carry all sizes of concrete block, including decorative EP Henry landscaping block. Their concrete is PennDOT approved and delivered with front discharge trucks. Riverview Block also carries masonry supplies, tools, cement, sand, and stone. For prompt delivery, call Riverview Block, 570-752-7191. Riverview Block is proud to support the Berwick Bulldogs.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football. WHLM Bloomsburg. WBWX Berwick.
HLM.
Bulldogs of Berwick off to a good start. Tajee Taylor recovers the opening kickoff. The Bulldogs go 7 plays, 28 yards. Blake Maurer with his first rushing touchdown of the season on a 4th down from the 1-yard line. Brendan Hinkle, following his extra point, will kick it off. This time he goes long and sails it with the wind over the head of Rahim Patterson. He picks it up and then gets to the 10, to the 15, and is brought down about the 20-yard line. So a good kickoff by Brendan Hinkle. And Berwick's defense will be on the field for the first time. Bulldogs front 4 with Mason Lawbaugh and Spencer Kishbaugh at the ends. Brian Knorr, Ethan Hughes at the tackles. Inside linebackers, Tajee Taylor and Peyton Williams. Outside, Benny Knorr and Sean Sheptock. The corners, Ryan Mendez-Tejada and Braden Boone. And the safety, Dre Wilk. So 1st and 10. Patriots, first snap of the game, first snap of the season from their 20-yard line. I formation behind P.J. Pisano. Thomas goes in motion left to right. Call goes straight ahead to the fullback. Sudo breaks a tackle over the 35, the 40, the 45, and over midfield in Berwick territory. Quick hitter on their first play, and David Sudo, a talented sophomore, with a huge game.
Tajee Taylor came up to meet him in the hole. There's going to be a flag and a personal foul coming behind the play. We'll see which way that's called. But Tajee Taylor was tall, trying to see where the play was developing. That tough-nosed fullback hit him in the numbers and knocked him back, and then rambled, eventually run down by the secondary. Backfield, it was Mason Lawbaugh wrestling with another player. How are they going to call it? We'll see.
It was back and forth, but this one's going to go against the Patriots, and this is huge. I think it was one of those, they were going to let it go, and then Pisano had one more thing to say, and that did it.
Yeah.
So that's a huge loss back to the 37-yard line, but what a burst by the sophomore, David Sudo, 32 yards on that carry.
Yeah, he looked strong.
1st and 10 Patriots, but they're back at their 37-yard line rather than the Berwick 48. Pisano out of the gun. Fires a quick out behind Patterson. He tries to get on the football. It's picked up and taken into the end zone by Logan Smith. And it is a touchdown. It was a backward pass. So when Patterson was not able to come up with it, they get the touchdown. And Berwick is on the board. Mason Lawbaugh.
Tajee Smith was the man who picked it up. Jim and ran it in. Tajee Taylor. I looked at it and saw it. It was sort of lateral but backward, and I'm not seeing a whistle. I'm watching the officials. They're not blowing that dead. Tajee Taylor was run over on the earlier play. Really makes up for it here, either blitzing or whatever. Sees it on the ground in the backfield, scoops it up and takes it all the way.
Brendan Hinkle will attempt the extra point. Good snap by Lanning. The hold by Boone. The kick is up, and the kick is good. 8:51 still to go in this opening quarter. Berwick 14, Pittston area nothing. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Welsh's Towing and Repair proudly supports the Berwick Bulldogs and wishes them a successful year. Welsh's Towing and Repair has a long tradition of helping. You can call Welsh's 24/7 at 759-9737 if you are in need of a tow, jump start, tire change, are locked out, or to request them on scene if you're in an accident. Welsh's accepts all major insurance and motor clubs, and they offer all types of preventive maintenance and state inspections for cars, trucks, and motorcycles. Welsh's Towing and Repair, South Mercer Street in Berwick, and at their South Center Storage Facility, Columbia Boulevard in Berwick.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football. WHLM Bloomsburg. WBWX Berwick.
HLM.
Quite a start for Berwick. They lead 14-0. Still 8:51 to go in this opening quarter, taking advantage of two big mistakes by Pittston area. As Hinkle's kick will go to Patterson up the middle at the 9-yard line. Rahim Patterson to the 15, to the 20, to the 25, to the 30, and out to the 35-yard line. Good return by him. What a start to this game for Tajee Taylor. I mean, he recovers the opening kickoff, leads to a Berwick touchdown. Then recovers another fumble, takes it in for the score. So he has been big in this 14-0 lead.
Most certainly has, Jim. 6'3". They love his athleticism. Played some inside linebacker for them last year. After struggling in that position in the previous game, they brought him in. Boy, he made a heads-up play there.
Pisano takes the snap, rolls right, fires long, downfield into traffic. It's knocked down, incomplete. But a flag down. Dre Wilk thought he made the play. Came over with his right hand and knocked it away. But I think they're ruling that maybe he had him wrapped with that left hand.
I think you're going to have to rule it if there's a flag. I wouldn't have thrown the flag. We were right on the sideline, practically out of bounds. If it was caught, I don't think it would have been considered a reception anyway. But he was covering Anthony Thomas deep. Came over from his free safety position in a rotation. Had the Berwick sideline. Reached in front with the right hand, but they're going to say that the left hand was on the back and call that a pass interference.
1st and 10. Pittston area at midfield after the penalty. Bruce Hartman in that defensive front for Berwick. Good-looking sophomore. They like his ability. Pisano under center. I formation behind him. Thomas goes in motion left to right. Pisano gives to Patterson, has some running room, breaks into the secondary, gets close to the first down near the 40-yard line.
Dre Wilk coming up from safety. He led the team in tackles last week, and I told him you shouldn't need to lead the team in tackles when you're the free safety. The guys in front of you need to make more plays. But in that game, with that system, a lot opened up, a lot of passing. He had to make the plays. Here he has to come up on a dive up the middle and make the stop.
10 yards on the carry by Rahim Patterson. 1st and 10, Pittston area. They have it at the Berwick 40-yard line. Trailing the Bulldogs 14-0, 8 minutes to go in this opening quarter. Pisano has the snap, gives to Patterson again, and Peyton Williams right there from his linebacker position. Nothing doing on the play.
Yeah, Mason Laubach coming down hard from left defensive end as well to meet them. So Berwick that time met the physical challenge right at the line of scrimmage with the front people. That's the way you want to see it played. Physical.
2nd down and 10. Patriots at the Bulldog 40-yard line. John Simons is the tight end on the right side. David Sudo, normally the fullback, is right off his right shoulder. Pisano out of the gun. Has the snap, rolls to his right, fires, incomplete. A little bit too hot for the intended receiver, Anthony Thomas, at the Berwick 39.
Yeah, it was. He came in motion from the left side, and as you mentioned, the wingback looked, it was on the right. It gave them trips over there. They wanted to hit him swinging upfield from his motion, but not quite on target where he'd make the catch. Berwick had people in position to make the tackle, but the execution off a little bit, and Berwick then didn't need the hit.
A couple of extra wide receivers in on this 3rd and 10. Rob Barberi and Gino Trabosky. 5 wide receivers. Trips to the right. Slot to the left. Patterson comes in motion. They dump it off to Patterson, looking for some running room. Gets outside and is hit and dropped a couple yards short of the first down around the 32-yard line.
He was hit and then spun, got another yard. He's 9 yards and he needs 10, and then Sean Sheptock turned him back. They motioned to quad receivers on the right side, hit the short man, and used the other as blockers. I thought the quarterback took a false step, Jim. Did you notice it? It would have been an illegal motion while his other man's in motion, but they let that go.
4th and 2 at the Berwick 32. I formation. Patterson at the tail of the tandem. Pisano under center and whistles.
I'm sure if it's a linesman, may have seen someone lined up in the neutral zone.
Offside, Berwick. That's a huge call. It was 4th and 2. The Bulldogs jump across. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Patriots at the Bulldog 27.
Might have been aligned in the neutral zone. I didn't quite see the movement, but often hard to catch it.
1st and 10 for the Patriots, marching at the Berwick 32-yard line. David Bem, all 6'5" of him, wide to the left side. Lots of size advantage on Braden Boone. Back to throws. Pisano fires. He's trying to exploit that play. Bem comes back and makes the catch. Tries to get in the end zone and does for the touchdown. The pass hung up, but David Bem came back, made the grab, stretched that 6'5" frame of his into the end zone for a 27-yard touchdown.
Quarterback rolling to his left as a challenging throw, but was able to set his feet and really heave it up high. Using the height, as you mentioned, Jim, and even though it's underthrown, Bem's able to come back to about the 1-yard line. The defender is looking at the man running the pattern. He tries to react, but all for naught. The man makes the catch and then twists his body into the end zone for the score.
Matt Soy will attempt the extra point. The kick is up, and the kick is good. Time out on the field. 6:19 to go in the opening quarter. Berwick 14, Pittston area 7. You're listening to Bulldogs Football and Sports Radio HLM.
Surprise that special someone with jewelry from J. Lilo Jewelers in downtown Bloomsburg. Lilo's is a full-service jewelry store offering one of the area's largest selections of diamonds, wedding bands, watches, sterling silver, and gold jewelry. Lilo's repairs jewelry and watches on site. You may also find that one-of-a-kind piece in the popular estate section. Come in and see Jeff for that special gift for that special someone for any occasion at J. Lilo Jewelers, 140 East Main Street, Bloomsburg. J. Lilo Jewelers wishes all athletes success this season.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football. WHLM Bloomsburg. WBWX Berwick.
HLM.
Quick start to this one tonight. 6:19 still to go in the opening quarter. We have 3 touchdowns on the board. Pittston just got there first, capping a 65-yard drive on 5 plays with a 27-yard touchdown pass. P.J. Pisano to David Bem. That's the way with the extra point. Berwick's lead is 14-7.
Berwick would have liked to have gotten the ball back with a 3rd down, 4th down stop, force a punt, score another, and maybe his team gets demoralized and quits. But no, they show that they can run the ball between the tackles on Berwick. They show that they can complete some passes. They're right back in it as Pittston.
Anthony Thomas will kick off. Berwick with 2 deep. But it's a low line drive kick. Will be fielded by Devin Smith at the 18-yard line to the 20. Cuts it outside to the 25 and is getting tackled about the 35-yard line.
Nice gang tackle, as you mentioned, but give Gino Trabosky most of the credit. He was able to square up, come on down, and make that hit. Good play for a 150-pounder.
Berwick's return game was very good last week at Lake Lehman. Nice punt return by Dre Wilk gave the team a spark, and then a couple of long kick returns by Isaac Tripp.
And this is a nice return on a squib-type kick where you have to worry first about ball security. He returned it a good 15, almost 20 yards.
1st and 10, Bulldogs. They have it at their own 35-yard line. Leading 14-7, 6:11 to go in this opening quarter. Benny Knorr under center. Pitches the ball to Aiden Mason, and he is brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Ball pops loose. See if they marked him down.
I don't know.
Devin Smith
they're going to call the fumble.
Yep, so they'll give Berwick 2 yards to the 37. Mason was stood up for no gain. He coughed up the football, but Devin Smith was there to rescue the Bulldogs. It'll be 2nd and 8.
He looked strong on his runs in the veer, diving as a fullback, but that time taking the pitch wide. He looked to put on the brakes, shove a tackler past him. could not do that and gave up the football.
Aiden Mason out of there now. Logan Smith is the running back behind Benny Knorr. 2nd and 8 from the 37. Devin Smith comes in motion. Knorr back to throw. Looks to dump the pass off, and it's dropped by Logan Smith at the 35-yard line.
A little bit underthrown. Logan Smith wanted to take that swing pass underneath on the run and turn it upfield. He had to slow down, try to get himself composed, and you're of two minds when that's happening, and he couldn't slow down enough to make the catch.
3rd down and 8. Berwick at their own 37-yard line. Peyton Williams caught a couple of passes last week. Wide to the right. Sean Sheptock wide to the left. 3rd down and 8 call. Blake Bauer comes in motion. Back to throw is Knorr. Big pass rush. Keeps his footing and then is ridden out of bounds for a loss on the play. David Sudo finally rode him out, but they had great pressure on Knorr to begin with. He got back what he could.
David Bem was the man. Came from left defensive end hard. And it was great escapability on the part of David, of the quarterback.
Benny Knorr,
to be able to sidestep that and get anything.
Sean Sheptock back to punt. Has the wind at his back. Sheptock boomed a 57-yarder in that opener last week. He's standing back to the 20-yard line awaiting the snap of Jake Lanning. Snap is perfect, and the kick is away. Coming up, making the fair catch is Anthony Thomas at about the Pittston area 36-yard line. So that's where the Patriots will put it in play. They marched for a touchdown last time they had it. 5:03 to go in the quarter. Berwick leads 14-7.
Yeah, their offense did look good when it got the opportunity to operate what it wants to do. They're going to mix run and pass. 2 runners contributing. Rahim Patterson, 2 carries for 10 yards. David Sudo with 32 yards on his burst up the middle, but most of it brought back on a penalty.
1st and 10 Patriots. Ball at their 36. Pisano under center. Patterson, the lone running back behind him. A pitch to Rahim Patterson. Tries the right side. Berwick's all over the play. He will not get to the line of scrimmage.
Gets the number. That's number 8, Tajee Taylor, Jim. And what a first quarter he's having from his inside linebacker position. Playing that from the inside out. Saw Mason Lawbaugh in position near the line of scrimmage. Had he escaped, well-played defense there on the pitch.
2nd and 12, Pittston area at their own 34-yard line. Anthony Thomas splits wide to the left side. Pisano will operate out of the gun with Patterson to his left. Pisano rolls left. Big pass rush. Tries to reverse his field. Then he passes it and incomplete, intended for Sudo. Berwick really had the heat on. Spencer Kishbaugh among the people in on the play for Berwick.
Yeah, he had the defensive end and came upfield, and the quarterback rolled left in his direction. So he just came at that quarterback, and made him throw off of his back foot, and you're just not going to have accuracy on a pass when that's the situation. Strong play by the sophomore Spencer Kishbaugh.
3rd down and 12. Pittston area at their own 34-yard line. 3 receivers to the left now. Pisano out of the gun. Patterson to his left. Pisano rolls left, fires, has his man Barberi, and he's brought down right in his tracks by Benny Knorr. And the pickup will be negligible, maybe 2 to the 36-yard line. The punt team will come on.
Yeah, Benny Knorr just playing very good at that sort of outside linebacker. They call it weak safety in this situation toward the boundary. Read the quarterback's eye, saw the pass coming underneath. They were hoping that the man could run with it after that, but unable to.
Isaac Tripp, Braden Boone deep for Berwick, as David Bem will do the punting. Snap by Tegan Raboli. A little bit high. Bem gets it. Gets the kick away. Line drive kick. Tripp takes it. He's brought down right in his tracks. Rahim Patterson doing a great job on special teams for the Patriots.
Yes, he did. Berwick had quite a rush. One man broke free, but at the last minute, Jimmy Spindler, the protector for the punter, was able to sort of turn him over. get him a block while he dove. There's a chance of a block on that, but Spindler's protection prevented that.
End of the first quarter in West Pittston. It is Williamsport nothing, Wyoming area nothing. We'll keep track of that one. Bulldogs will be on the road at Williamsport next Friday. Here they have a 14-7 lead, 3:26 to go in the opening quarter. And they have a 1st and 10 at their own 32-yard line. As a keeper by Knorr ducks away from one tackler and gets what he can out to about the 35-yard line. Pretty good effort by Benny Knorr. Looked like he was going to be brought down for a loss.
Yeah, by Stephen Yanchus, who's 6'5", 340. But you mentioned it. He ducked under. Yanchus unable to wrap. Got another yard. Kept fighting. Got another 2-3 yards. 4 yards in all. I'd go back to that fullback part of the veer, Jimmy. They haven't been stopping it when they veer it well to the outside. I guess you want to work all parts of it to see where you are, but I'd go with what's working best.
Logan Smith is that fullback on a 2nd down and 6. Berwick from their own 36-yard line. Straight drop back to throw Knorr. Again, a big pass rush. Almost tripped up. Extends the body out to the 40. Again, under duress, but again, makes something out of seemingly nothing. Picks up 4 more. It's going to be 3rd down and 2.
Doesn't seem like he's getting that much yardage, and all of a sudden it's from 1 to 2 to 4 yards that he does stretch. He needs better protection, though. I mean, that's not an obvious passing situation. Berwick's line needs to step up their game and give him a little more protection.
Wyoming Valley West 6 and Dallas nothing. That's in the first quarter, first game of the season for the Mountaineers of Dallas. 3rd and 2 Berwick at their own 40-yard line. Wing to either side. Logan Smith is the running back behind Knorr. He gets the call up the middle, has the 1st down, and then some running hard over the 45 out to the 46.
That's the play I want to see, Jim. Fullback dive, veering from the center of the field off to the outside, so that time to the left. Berwick's getting people as they're blocking on down, and the rest of the defense is playing option. Run very well by Logan Smith.
7 yards for the 5'7", 160-pound junior. 1st and 10 Bulldogs from their own 47. Blake Maurer goes in motion. Smith again breaks into the secondary and spins to the 45-yard line of Pittston area.
Ran it a little tighter toward the center, but he runs with authority, Jimmy. Explodes out of his stance, and he bursts that one for 9 yards.
2nd down and 2 as they mark it at the 45-yard line. Berwick in Pittston area territory.
Good passing down here, Jim, right now. Play action.
Peyton Williams, receiver to the right. Maurer in motion, a pitch to him. Blake Maurer sweeps the left side, has the 1st down and then some inside the 40 and close to the 38-yard line of the Patriots.
Devin Smith on the outside blocked the corner so he could not come up and play the pitch. He's responsible for the success of that, as well as the speed and determination of Blake Maurer, as he's taken that pitch on a number of pitch sweeps and has looked good with it.
Back-to-back 7-yard runs by Berwick. They have a 1st down at the Pittston area 38-yard line. Time winding down here in the opening quarter. Bulldogs with that 14-7 advantage.
Pop it inside, pop it outside. Nice variation in the offense.
Sean Sheptock wide left. Peyton Williams wide right. From the 38. Knorr gives to Smith, and he gets just a couple to the 35-yard line. Bring up 2nd down and 7, and that will be the final play of this opening quarter with the score. Berwick 14, Pittston area 7. You're listening to Bulldogs Football on Sports Radio, HLM.
Neighbor Fence Company has fencing for where you want it, serving Columbia, Montour, and Luzerne counties. Neighbor Fence provides top-quality residential and commercial fencing, vinyl, chain link, wood, aluminum, and ornamental fencing, plus vinyl railing and specialty products. Neighbor Fence Company, 1140 State Route 239 in Wapwallopen. Call 570-752-4423 or visit them online at neighborfencecompany.com. Neighbor Fence Company is a proud sponsor of local youth athletic teams.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football. WHLM Bloomsburg. WBWX Berwick.
HLM.
One quarter in the books here at Charlie Trippey Stadium in Yatesville. Berwick leading Pittston area by a score of 14-7 And the Bulldogs in pretty good position to start this second quarter. They'll be moving from our right to our left, and they'll be facing a 2nd down and 7 at the 35-yard line. Aiden Mason appeared to be banged up when he left the lineup a couple of plays previously. Logan Smith, though, doing a great job at that fullback position.
3 carries, 20 yards, and really exploding as he goes. Aiden Mason was explosive also on these fullback dives. He struggled on the pitch play. He had been hurt throughout the week, didn't practice much with the thigh bruise. That may have, put a damper on his play this game.
2nd and 7. Bulldogs at the Patriots 35-yard line. Benny Knorr, play action, back to throw. Dumps a pass to the far side, and it's dropped.
Get hands, Logan Smith.
Right in the hands of Logan Smith as they try to set up a screen to the far side.
People have different skill sets. He has explosive burst in getting into runs. He has nice moves. He has power. Does he have hands? We'll see as the game and the season progresses. But right there, he was set up with a nice little screen and just kind of punched the ball away from himself.
3rd and 7. Berwick, Devin Smith wide right. Sean Sheptock in a slot to the right. Benny Knorr under center. 3rd down call. Straight drop back to throw. Looking. Big pass rush. Throws long for Devin Smith. He makes the no. He drops the ball inside the 10-yard line. Boy, Benny Knorr deserves better on that series, as he had a couple of receivers hit him in the hands and back-to-back incompletions. 4th and 7 at the Patriot 35-yard line. Looks like the punt team coming on.
Smiths are struggling to hold on to the football, Jim. Logan the first time on that swing, and then Devin deep downfield all by himself, waiting about the 4-yard line. Not a bad place for a fake punt. Sean Smith, of course, one of your most skilled individuals in punting formation.
Sean Sheptock takes the snap, gets the kick away. Line drive kick will hit inside the 5 and be down to about the 3-yard line. So Berwick gets a good bounce on that kick by Sheptock. Normally you see that go in the end zone. It did not. That's what Pittston area was counting on. And they'll be backed up deep in their own territory.
In the air, it looked to hit at the 1-yard line. Peyton Williams is down there trying frantically to get behind it and keep it from going into the end zone. It hit and plunks back to the 3 where Berwick's able to fall on it. So, yeah, the right English on that one.
They're marking the ball at the 4-yard line. That's where the Patriots have it. Their first possession of this second quarter. Rahim Patterson deep in the end zone. The tailback takes the call. He's going nowhere. 5 or 6 Bulldogs get to the football.
Yes, they do. Ryan Mendez-Tejeda among them, coming from the outside linebacker position and squeezing him, not giving him any outside corner to run. Berwick had 2 people fronting him and 2 meeting him on the inside. They actually pushed him back half a yard.
We called 2nd down and 11 near the 3-yard line. Dangerous territory for Pittston area. David Bem lines up as the tight end on the right side. Offset eye behind quarterback P.J. Pizzato. Quarterback keeper looking for a little bit of room. Butts it off to the left side and gets a yard, maybe 2 on the play. So a very, very difficult 3rd down play for Pittston area.
Gives them enough room, though. They bring it out to about the 5 where your punter can still get the 15 yards to be able to punt the ball, and that's an advantage.
Timeout, Patriots. 10:32 to go in the half. Berwick leads at 14-7. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Home of the Blaze Alexander lowest price guaranteed. Whether it's a new GMC Sierra 4x4, Acadia, or Terrain, or any of the full lineup of Buick SUVs, you'll get the lowest price guaranteed. We've got a huge selection of quality pre-owned vehicles too. Local one-owner cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs. Why shop anywhere else when you'll get the best selection, the best financing, and the most for your trade at Alexander Family Buick GMC in Bloomsburg. We're taking deals the other guys won't.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football. WHLM Bloomsburg. WBWX Berwick.
HLM.
10 minutes, 32 seconds remain in the opening half here at Charlie Trippi Stadium in Yatesville. Berwick leading Pittston area 14-7. Patriots called a timeout to talk about a very, very difficult play for them. They had the ball at their own 5-yard line, put in that bad position on a good punt by Sean Sheptock, and now they face a 3rd down and 9.
I play this one safe, Jim. I might give it to that big fullback, David Suda, and just see what he can do, get a little bit more room for my punter. Of course, you're going to give Berwick good field position if you can't get the 9 yards.
3rd down call, rolling right. Pisano has his man. Completion for a 1st down out over the 20-yard line. Good play action by Pisano. Hits John Simons, the tight end, and a huge play for Pittston area.
Yes, it is. Rolling to the right. I like moving this quarterback. He's not overly tall. They got the good block on the corner to get him out there. Release the tight end after a little, chip block where he can come out on that same side, run the out pattern. Nice toss, not that far away from him, and he turns it upfield well for the play that they needed.
19 yards on the reception by the tight end Simons. 1st and 10, Patriots at their own 24-yard line, and movement all over the place for Pittston area.
Yeah, 2 or 3 people misheard the snap count in the huddle. That'll move Pittston back 5 yards. Of course, they don't like that. No team likes penalties. This is a team, though, that has a nice offense when they mix run and pass. Nice tricky play to convert on that 3rd and 8 or 9 that they needed, hitting the tight end. Their running game's been generating offense. When you handicap yourself to 5 yards with people running off sides, it's tough.
Rob Barberi wide left. Anthony Thomas wide right. Pisano off play action, back to throw, hit as he throws, diving attempt at the 23-yard line and incomplete.
It was tipped on its trajectory, and Berwick really came hard after it. David Sudo tried to pretend he scooped it up, but he couldn't quite get to it. Even then, it was going to be a dive and not much gain.
2nd and 15 for Pittston area at their own 19-yard line. David Bem, who had the touchdown grab, is wide to the left side. One of 3 receivers to that side. Pisano out of the gun. Has the step. Back to throw. Fires on the middle. Ball's tipped and incomplete. Again, Berwick getting there to get a hand on the football.
Yeah, doing a nice job. Tristan English, just a sophomore, is playing some of the outside linebacker. Berwick calls it a strong safety in this position. He might have been the man to get the hand on it. He might have been in a designated blitz. But 2 plays in a row where Berwick realizes, hey, we can't get the quarterback, but we can get that football and throw it off.
3rd down and 15. Patriots at their own 19-yard line. Let's see where they'll put Bem in this play. Looks like a tight end position to the right. Pisano again out of the gun. 3 receivers to the left. Patterson to his left. Thomas comes in motion. Pisano has the shotgun snap, fires a bullet pass, has Bem, and Bem is brought down over the 25 at about the 27-yard line, well short of the 1st down yardage.
They had him at right tight end, as you mentioned, Jim, in the setup. He delayed about a second and then came in front of the linebackers. Came in front of Benny Knorr, though, and Benny Knorr puts him down after a 6-yard gain or so. Well short of the chains. They need about 7 to convert. It'll set up the punt.
Ball at the Patriot 27-yard line. Bem will do the punting. Tegan Raboli does the long snapping for the Patriots. Good snap. Kick is away. Low line drive kick. Field on a hop at the 37-yard line by Isaac Tripp, and good coverage by the Patriots as he brought down short of the 40-yard line.
Yeah, 2 people converged, and then Rahim Patterson really put the shoulder into him to knock him out of bounds and knock him a little bit silly. So he fields that, prevents the ball from rolling another 10 or 15 yards, takes it toward the sideline, but unable to turn it up as Pittston has pretty good coverage and takes a shot.
Patterson, a very good football player.
Oh, yes.
We were told he's one of their better defenders from his safety position. He looks very dangerous from that tailback spot and has been good on special teams as well. Berwick, 1st and 10. Moving from our right to our left in this 2nd quarter. They have it at their own 39-yard line. 9:20 to go in the half. And the Bulldogs leading Pittston area by a score of 14-7.
Aiden Mason not in the backfield again, Jim.
It is Logan Smith. Devin Smith in motion. Logan gets the call, tries the right side, and nothing doing. Right at the line of scrimmage, maybe even lost a half yard.
They played it very well. Joe Galonis caught him on his veer to the right and was able to twist him down right there and stop him for no gain.
Second down and 10. Bulldogs at their 39. Berwick got a couple of recoveries by Tyjee Taylor. One that he returned for a score, one that set up a score. That's their 14 points as Devin Smith on a wing to the left. Benny Knorr under center on the second down and 10. Blake Bauer gets the call, then he hands off to Devin Smith, and Smith gets out to about the 44-yard line. We usually see that in Southern Columbia's wing T, the double handoff, the inside reverse, if you will.
Yeah, it was. 2 handoffs going there. Of course, they're using 2 wings, and they can do that. We understand, or we knew they would put the play in and worked on it. We may see it. Nice execution, but it didn't fool Pittston, who stayed home on the backside and played it tough.
3rd and 6. Berwick at their own 43-yard line. Logan Smith, the running back, behind quarterback Benny Knorr. Man in motion, a pitch over the head of that motion man who has to recover back at the 30-yard line. A high pitch by Benny Knorr, and Blake Bauer had to go back and get it. The result will be a 13-yard loss to bring the punt team on.
Yeah, call it a loss to the team rather than to Mauer. Nothing he could do. But the pitch a little too aggressive, came high, no way that he could field that. Playing it very safely. He probably could have got back there, picked it up, but then what are you going to do with it? You have to try to escape. Playing it safe by falling on the fumble.
Rahim Patterson, Anthony Thomas, deep for the Patriots. Sheptock's punt, short, very, very, very high. And Berwick will let it roll, and it rolls dead at the Pittston area 37-yard line. So that's where the Patriots put it in play with 7:10 remaining in this opening half, and Berwick continuing to lead 14-7.
And the first 5-10 minutes of this game, Berwick had all the momentum. Looked like they were going to win this going away, if possible. Big score. But things have changed. Pistons gathered themselves. They've made their score. Their offense is making plays happen, and their defense has been stopping Berwick on consecutive drives.
1st and 10, Patriots. P.J. Pisano out of the gun. Has the snap, play action, throws it over the middle, has Simons the tight end, breaks free from Sheptock, down the sideline, 35, 30, 25, still on his feet inside the 20-yard line. Good play action by Pisano. This one, though, may come back, a flag behind the line of scrimmage.
I watched Sudo, the fullback, in wing, come in motion sideways and help the blocking.
They're saying holding, and they pointed toward Berwick, so the play will go.
But the blocking is what held up. He was able to then release it down the middle. He had protection from the pocket because the fullback stepping up and helping. Hit his man at about 15 yards, and then some nice shaking and running and using speed to extend the play.
43 yards on the catch, and now a personal foul against Berwick. So it'll be 1st and goal at the 10-yard line. So a big gain by Simons, personal foul on Berwick, and Pittston area 10 yards away from a tying score. Patterson, the tailback in the eye. He gets the call, and nothing doing. Mason Lawbaugh across that line of scrimmage in a hurry. He'll lose a couple on the play.
He'll credit his line mates inside. Defensive tackle stuffed it up. And we saw Patterson run up with nowhere to go. Mason Lawbaugh comes fast from behind, wraps his arms around him, and twists him on back.
2nd down and goal. Pittston area. They have it at the Berwick 12-yard line. They move from our left to our right with 6:19 remaining in this opening half. 3 receivers to the left. Pisano will operate out of the gun. Has the snap, looking to his left, and fires it over the middle, incomplete. Benny Knorr was all over the intended target, Anthony Thomas. Good job by Pisano looking off those three receivers to the left and throwing over the middle, but nor was there. 3rd and goal to 12.
Yeah, a lineman downfield. I thought it was another receiver in the pass pattern. Ended up where Joe Galonis drifted a little too far, but they wanted to run that inside slanting pattern at about 4 yards, catch it in front of the linebackers. But Berwick prevents the pass.
3rd down and goal. Pittston area at the Berwick 12. Slot to the left, slot to the right. Pisano sends Barberi in motion to the left and fires into the end zone. Incomplete. Intended for Bem. Is there a flag on the play? It looks like it will be against the Bulldogs.
Who had the coverage, Jim? I thought it was 21, Rowan Slabinski, but we haven't seen him in the game.
It looked to be. And Bem was the intended target. The hit was there too soon.
I didn't think. Did you? You don't question the officials. They're on top of it. They call a good game. They're certainly objective. But again, I don't know if I'd have called pass interference on that. Now, maybe it happened earlier. Maybe there was a hold. But right at the point where the pass was thrown, I didn't see it.
So it'll be 3rd down at the 6-yard line as the Patriots will talk about it with the timeout. 5:57 to go in the half. 14-7. Berwick, you're listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Have you heard the buzz about Bazing? Discover the money-saving benefits of a new Bazing checking account from First Columbia Bank. You'll earn interest and save money with local and national shopping and dining deals. And that's not all. You'll also get cell phone protection, roadside assistance, prescription drug savings, and more. Plus, for a limited time, when you open your new Bazing interest checking, we'll thank you with a free pair of Century earbuds. Now that you know what the buzz is all about, make a beeline to First Columbia Bank and open your account today. Terms and conditions apply.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football. WHLM Bloomsburg. WBWX Berwick.
HLM.
Out of the timeout, it'll be 3rd and 6 from the 6-yard line.
Pittston area, 3rd and goal at the Berwick 6-yard line. Bulldogs leading 14-7. Following the Patriot timeout, Pisano out of the gun, has the snap, looking to his left and throws high for David Bem in the end zone.
Rowan Slabinski on the coverage, but high and through the hands of Bem in the back of the end zone. He looked left, really looked it off well. Bem on the backside, the sole receiver, covered there by Rowan Slabinski. But again, there's going to be a height disadvantage. Slabinski is 6'2", but he's a little younger, less experienced, just a sophomore. Play against a 6'5" veteran who they're trying to work.
Rahim Patterson comes out of the lineup for Pittston area. David Sudo in for him. Big play here in the second quarter. 4th and goal from the 6. And we have the officials calling a timeout. The last timeout for Pittston area. We'll keep it right here with 5:52 to go in this half.
Pittston has used its timeouts well, Jim. After a timeout, they've come up with some very nice play calls. They've been successful. Even the last play call that was high here, I thought Bem probably should have been able to catch it.
Couple of scores, end of the first quarter. Montoursville leading Central Columbia 14-0. End of the first, Hazleton area leading Wilkes-Barre area 7-0. Stay with us at halftime. Raven Klein will bring you updated on all the high school football scores on this, the second weekend of this truncated 2020 season. I didn't know the word truncated until this season came on.
Truncated is right.
But big call coming. Patriots called their final timeout to talk about this 4th and goal at the 6. Trying to get the final score, the tying score, as Bem lines up wide to the right. Devin Smith on him. Boy, that's a huge mismatch in size. See if they go that way or they go to the trip side with the left. No, they're going to roll to the left. Pisano rolling, keeps the football, dives for the pylon on the far side.
Touchdown.
And what are they calling?
One official scored it. Yes, he did. There were two at the same area. I thought he had no chance. Rolling to the left where his trips receivers were, he's going to have to plant and throw. Berwick had man-to-man coverage and had good coverage, so he eventually turns it upfield. I thought he'd get to the 7, then I thought he'd get to the 5, then all of a sudden he's approaching that pylon. A collision at the pylon, but the official right there, rules it to touchdown.
Matt Soy will attempt the tying extra point. His kick is up, and the kick is good. Time on the field, 5:42 remaining in the opening half. Berwick 14, Pittston area 14. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Reds Roofing, the roofing ninjas of Berwick, are your roofing experts for Luzerne, Columbia, and Montour counties. With 26 years of experience and great rates, why go anywhere else when Reds Roofing will get the job done right for your decks, siding, or roofing, specializing in metal and rubber shingles. Most roofing work is done in one day, so remember the name, Reds Roofing, the roofing ninjas. Call Reds Roofing, 752-4351. Owner Harry Titus, a proud supporter of the Berwick football team.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football. WHLM Bloomsburg. WBWX Berwick.
HLM.
Berwick got out to a great start. This one led 14-0, but Pittston area has come back to tie it. Latest score, a 6-yard run on a 4th and goal. Quarterback P.J. Pisano making a good play, capping a 5-play, 63-yard drive. Biggest play along the way was a 43-yard pass completion from Pisano to his tight end, John Simons.
Yeah, he's 6 of 12 passing, and that time rolling out to the left. The right-handed quarterback wanted to pass to the end zone, but Berwick's in tight man-to-man. They never recognized the quarterback was going to run, and while it doesn't seem he's going to make it in, he does.
Anthony Thomas comes up very, very short, fielded by Blake Maurer at the 30, over the 40 out to the 43-yard line. So a short kickoff and good field position for Berwick. 5:37 to go in the half. They have their full complement of timeouts remaining. Score, though, now tied at 14.
Early in the game, Aiden Mason was bursting right and left with the veer. When he got hurt, we did see the same thing with Logan Smith for a while. But Pittston has made some adjustments, and they've been stopping that inside run. Berwick has not been as effective with its option game. Passing, I only have Benny Knorr with 1 10-yard completion to Sean Sheptock in 6 attempts overall.
Ball at the Bulldogs' 44-yard line. Blake Maurer on a wing to the right. Devin Smith to the left. Devin Smith comes in motion. Logan Smith, it pitches to Devin Smith, and outside he gets to midfield to the 49-yard line. So fake by Knorr to Logan Smith. The pitch to Devin Smith, and a good first down play for the Bulldogs, who are now in Pittston area territory.
Yeah, but the hands, Jimmy, it's the hands. Devin Smith took that pitch and juggled it and juggled it and juggled it from about 5 yards deep to the line of scrimmage. And in doing that, it slows some of the momentum down. Had he been able to field it cleanly, he'd have had more than this 8-yard gain.
2nd down and 2. Berwick at the Pittston area 48-yard line. Slot to the left side. Sean Sheptock in the slot. Peyton Williams outside of him. Knorr gives straight ahead to Logan Smith, and he picks up a couple to the 45-yard line of the Patriots.
John Simons at the inside linebacker is as advertised, Jim. He made the solo tackle, tripping him up, or that would have been a big gainer. Berwick will continue going with that fullback dive. They'll continue with the other parts of the option. That was another one of that almost big play, but give Simons credit for stopping it.
2nd and 7. Bulldogs at the Patriot 45-yard line.
1st and 10.
In motion, call goes right side, and not much doing. Pittston area indicating they have the football, but the officials saying he was down.
They still come up and raise the ball in their hand. Tough on the inside that time. A stout defense. Those big tackles up front stop it dead, and they'll make it 2nd and 10.
Berwick at the Pittston area 45-yard line. Under 4 minutes remaining in this opening half. Score tied at 14. Sheptock wide left. Sophomore Rob Barberi has that assignment. 1-on-1. as Nor's going to pitch off the right side of the option to Devin Smith, and Smith inside the 40 down near the 35-yard line.
Yeah, he stopped in the secondary by Rob Barberi, or he may have taken it all the way. He fielded that one cleanly. That pitch comes end over end. It's not a lateral. Quarterback gets it out there any way you can. He had softer hands that time, and it allowed him to accelerate immediately, and you can see him using his vision to extend that run.
Holding call against Berwick, so that's the kind of penalty that can really kill a drive when you're running this triple option. It takes it back to the Berwick 48-yard line. Second down and 17 for the Bulldogs.
Might need to go to the passing game, but we mentioned only one complete so far in this half in 6 attempts. You might get Benny Noor rolling out of that pocket a little bit. Because they want to use Sean Sheptock, who often has a size advantage and a speed advantage on anyone he plays against.
Slot to the left side. Sheptock is in the slot. And Noor back to throw, looking that way. Now he's going to keep the football. He gets to the 45, to the 40, still on his feet. And nice effort by Benny Noor to the 37-yard line.
Oh, wonderful balance. I thought he left the pocket a little quickly, but things are collapsing. He's not getting the protection. He stepped off to his right, split the guard tackle gap on that side, had 10 yards easily, did a little sidestep. Then balance. He could have been pulled down, but he stood up, went sideways, and now he's just about half a yard away from converting this. Berwick will go on fourth if they don't pound it in here. I'd watch quarterback sneak.
16 yards in the carry by Benny Noor. First, third down and 1 from the 36. Noor's going to option left. Pitches at the last moment to Blake Maurer. It's read well by the Patriots, but Maurer still very, very close to the first down near the 35.
Needed to hit the 35. That's where the chain is. I thought he had it. Are they going to bring them across? Depends where they spot it.
It will be a first down for the Bulldogs with 2:22 remaining in this half.
I'm not a big fan of the option overall. I like it in concept. I especially don't like it there in short yardage unless you're pounding that fullback for that yard. There the quarterback took a step depth and then got the pitch. Now it all worked out wonderfully. I suppose you have to have confidence in your player's execution, and it worked there.
From the 35 as we go under 2 minutes remaining in this opening half. Devin Smith started in motion in Pittston area, jumped across.
Yes, they did. Down lineman, breaking out of his stance. It's David Sudo. They like his abilities, Jim. Just a sophomore, but a tough kid. Might be the quarterback, Brian Noor, or Benny Noor, using that cadence to his advantage. I saw him use it a little bit earlier in the game. Didn't quite draw someone. Here he got the yardage he wanted.
1st and 5, Berwick at the Patriot 30-yard line. In motion. Devin Smith, Logan Smith gets the call, tries to break through a tackle, does so, but then is brought down by a second defender at the 28.
It's hard for a linebacker, even as talented as John Simons, to make a clean hit. The man's running the veer. He's veering away from you. You're angling inside out. He has momentum. So even with a good, clear hit, that running back, Logan Smith's going to break away with his quickness and stretch that.
Second down and 3. Berwick at the Patriot 28. 1:05 to go in the half. Noor back to throw. Fires, has his man. A completion and out of bounds across the way at the 23. Sean Sheptock on the quick hitter.
They like that play, and I like that play. He's going to kind of get it out there sideways to Sean Sheptock. This time, instead of at the line of scrimmage, he's about 3-4 yards downfield. He can run his man back. They're afraid of being beaten deep. But toss him the ball and let him run with it after that, and he's going to get you the yardage and the first down that you need.
6 yards on the completion, timeout on the field. 14-7 Berwick. You're listening to Bulldogs Football and Sports Radio HLM.
The Mayo Funeral Homes, located at 110 Chestnut Street in Berwick and 77 Main Street in Chickashinny, are proud sponsors of Berwick Bulldog football. The Mayo Funeral Homes, serving all faiths, makes it easier for those you love with pre-arranged funeral counseling, insurance, and pre-financed funerals. Mayo Funeral Homes also offers expert guidance in both traditional and cremation services. Mayo Funeral Homes, perfection in every detail.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football. WHLM Bloomsburg. WBWX Berwick.
HLM.
We have timeout.
45 seconds remaining in this opening half. Got a good one going from Charlie Trippey Stadium. Score tied at 14. Berwick following their timeout. 1st and 10 at the Pittston area 22-yard line. Bulldogs move from our right to our left. Sheptock, the lone receiver, to the left. In motion, Devin Smith. The call goes to Logan Smith up the middle, breaks one tackle, and gets inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. Took a pretty big hit at the line of scrimmage, but bounced away. Berwick will use another timeout. We'll keep it here with 38 seconds remaining in the second quarter.
It was a nice burst. He had the seam up the middle. And at the linebacker level, as the linebacker came up about 2 yards past the line of scrimmage, the man went low and kind of took his foot out from him. But he kind of did a little dance step after he took that trip and maintained his balance and got more. Berwick has the phases of the offense going now. They have the fullback very effective on the inside with Logan Smith. The quarterback is working the pitch effectively to Devin Smith. We've seen Blake Maurer being involved in the offense. We've seen Sean Sheptock on the receiving end of some nice short passes. So Berwick has a variety of ways to attack. The thing is, it's not a question of just getting the chains. You have 38 seconds to get it into the end zone here from the 18-yard line. So we'll see how Carmen DiFrancesco chooses, to go with the offensive play calling.
Devin Smith is wide to the right. Sean Sheptock in a slot to that side. Berwick, one timeout remaining. They have it at the Pittston area 18-yard line. Knorr under center, drops back to throw, and he's looking long to the end zone. Double coverage down there, goes incomplete. Intended for Sean Sheptock. Clock stops, 31 seconds remaining in this opening half.
And Shane McCracken was underneath and had coverage, and there was a man right with him at the back pylon. Ball came up a little bit short and thrown out of bounds. So they're trying to use the height and the aggressiveness of Sean Sheptock as a receiver. Hopes he can come down with it, but not placed where it needed to be.
Well, obviously Berwick wants 6 here, but remember, they do have an excellent kicker in Brendan Hinkle. So if the line of scrimmage stays where it is, he would probably have a shot from here, but they'll look for more here. 3rd down call from the 18. Knorr back to throw, fires, has his man, Blake Maurer. Maurer trying to get outside left, does so, and picks up the first down. Nicely done, Benny Knorr to Blake Maurer.
Yeah, rolling to the right and nice little forward pass, almost a pitch to the man who's out in the flat. Caught him in stride, and Blake Maurer certainly knows how to run, knew the down and distance situation. In fact, as he approached the chain on the sideline, he reached the ball forward to assure himself he was going to get that first down.
And got out of bounds with 24 seconds to go in the half. Bulldogs at the Pittston area 11. 7 yards on that reception by Blake Maurer. Knorr back to throw. Big pass rush. Fires the end zone. Incomplete. Had a man, but Pittston area had a lot of pressure on Benny Knorr. The intended receiver was Peyton Williams.
Yeah, Peyton Williams has some height, too. He was posting over the middle, and they're over on the right side. It was isolated. One-on-one, but a little bit overthrown. There's a lot of pressure coming, but the back in the backfield is picking up the defensive end, giving him just enough. I mean, it's not a comfort zone that you'd like, but the block has been there.
2nd and 10, Bulldogs at the Patriot 11. 18 seconds to go in the half. Maurer goes in motion, takes the handoff. He gives the ball to Devin Smith, has some running room, and then a nice tackle in the open field down around the 6-yard line.
Yeah.
And Berwick will use their final timeout. We'll keep it here with 11 seconds to go in the half.
Tackler really deserves credit, and I couldn't see it. It was Shane McCracken who stayed backside, plays that backside corner. We'd seen him in the end zone just a few plays ago. The play developed well, executed with the double handoff. We see Devin Smith taking it inside. He has that blazing speed. But Shane McCracken, staying home, aware, makes a good one-on-one tackle.
So Berwick facing a 3rd down and 5 at the 7, but just 11 seconds to go and no timeouts remaining. So you would think the field goal would be the way to go here.
Well, you might take one shot to the end zone. The danger is you might be sacked, and then the clock does run out. Ball's on the right hash. I don't know if I'd risk the play, but, you know, you talk to your people and say, let's just make sure there's no sack. Maybe keep in some extra protection.
Blake Bauer wide left. Sean Sheptock in a slot to the left. Here we go, Berwick. 3rd and 5 from the Pittston area 6 with 11 seconds to go in the half. And Noor back to throw, and he fires it over the head of the intended receiver, Sheptock. And again, Pittston area had the heat on Benny Noor. He was hit as he released the pass.
Anthony Thomas in the coverage. Even if it was caught, he might have been able to stop him on the 2, and that would have killed the clock. Now at 6 seconds, we'll see the kick. In high school, though, the hashes are at a good angle. And being in close, this is not an easy kick. Wind is going from the Berwick sideline on the far side towards us over here.
Brendan Hinkle, last year as a sophomore, 2 for 2 in field goals, as long as 32. The hold by Boone will be at the 15. 25-yard field goal attempt. Good snap. The kick is up, and the kick is good. So Brendan Hinkle comes through to give the Bulldogs the lead. 2 seconds remaining in the half. Berwick 17, Pittston area 14. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Go Bulldogs from Tri-County Lumber on South Poplar Street, just off Route 11 in Berwick. From the planning stages to the purchase, all the way through to the last nail being hammered, the staff at Tri-County Lumber in Berwick is at your service. Located just off Route 11 on South Poplar Street, Tri-County Lumber offers professional design for your kitchen and bath, cabinetry, and countertops. The products and service you are looking for are located just off Route 11 in Berwick on South Poplar Street at Tri-County Lumber.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football. WHLM Bloomsburg, WBWX Berwick.
HLM.
Hang on. 15-play drive by Berwick, capped on a 25-yard field goal by Brendan Hinkle, has given the Bulldogs the lead 17-14. Longest play along that way, a 16-yard run by quarterback Benny Noor.
Squib this one with 6 seconds or 2 seconds left.
And there is the squib kick. It'll be fielded by the Patriots at the 39-yard line, and the first half has come to an end. Interesting first half of football was Berwick 17, Pittston area 14. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Choose with confidence. The Medicine Shop.
At the Medicine Shop Pharmacy, located at the corner of 9th and Pine Streets in Berwick, caring goes beyond the prescriptions. Discover the one-on-one customer service and dedication that makes caring part of the culture at the Medicine Shop in Berwick. Stock up on everything you need to keep you and your family healthy all year long. The Medicine Shop Pharmacy, located on the corner of 9th and Pine Streets in Berwick, where caring goes beyond the prescriptions.
IndependenceFord.com is officially announcing the biggest pre-owned vehicle sale in Independence Ford's 35-year history. Huge discounts, great trade values, and the lowest interest rate in years. If you need a vehicle, now is the time. Need a deal on a new vehicle? How about 0% for 84 months on 2019 F-150s? And ask about their lifetime oil change program on all new car sales. Now is the time to shop IndependenceFord.com. Independence Ford, 3101 Columbia Boulevard. Better people, better prices.
Are you looking to meet an elder care need? Do you or a loved one need assistance with any of the instrumental or basic activities of daily living? Brookdale Senior Living has a solution. Brookdale Bloomsburg, located at 420 Schaefer Road, is a premium personal care home offering a family atmosphere along with round-the-clock nursing care. Call 570-387-6868 to learn more. Better yet, we invite you to drop in and meet the Brookdale family and learn how we can offer an optimum aging experience for you or a loved one.
After serving their country proudly, the associates at J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling are ready to serve their community and you directly. They bring their military standards of respect, integrity, and trust to your junk removal needs. Their services include light hauling, contractor cleanup, general labor services, hot tub removal, estate services, and many more. Contact them at 844-GET-JDOG or check out their reviews on Facebook and Google or stop by their homepage at jdog.com.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football. WHLM Bloomsburg. WBWX Berwick. HLM.
Andy Lickney from Charlie Trippi Stadium in Yatesville. We're at halftime. Interesting first half of football. Berwick leading Pittston area by a score of 17-14. Game started really well for Berwick and very poorly for Pittston area in the Patriots' first game of the season. The opening kick by Brendan Hinkle came up short, and the Patriots were slow to get to the football. Tajee Taylor recovered for the Bulldogs at the 28-yard line. From there, they went on a 7-play scoring drive. Blake Maurer took a pitch from the 1-yard line and fourth downs, went off the left side for the score. Big plays along the way, a 13-yard run by Aiden Mason, who was injured that opening half and did not return, and a 10-yard pass completion to Sean Shepdog. Brendan Hinkle with the extra point. Berwick had a 7-0 lead with 9:20 to go in the opening quarter. Later in that quarter, another big play by Tajee Taylor. Pass by Pisano was a backward pass, so the ball was loose when Rahim Patterson couldn't field it. Taylor picked it up and went in from 31 yards out for the score. Brendan Hinkle again with the extra point. Looked easy for the Bulldogs. 8:51 to go in the quarter. They already led 14-0. But Pittston area put together a nice drive. 5 plays, 65 yards. Capped on a 27-yard touchdown pass from P.J. Pisano to his 6'5 target, David Bem. Matt Soy kicked the extra point. With 6:19 to go in the opening quarter, Berwick's lead was cut to 14-7. Patriots on the move in the second quarter. They got a huge pass play. P.J. Pisano to his tight end, John Simons, of 43 yards. Personal foul against Berwick after that made it even closer. And then Pittston area at the Berwick 6-yard line following a timeout, 4th and goal. Pisano rolled left. Didn't look like he had enough room. Looked like Berwick was going to string it out, but somehow he got to the pylon on the far side for the score. Soy added the extra point. We were tied at 14. And then Berwick went on a terrific drive of their own. 15 plays. The biggest play along the way, a 16-yard run by quarterback Benny Knorr. With just 2 seconds remaining in the half, Brendan Hinkle, 25-yard field goal, and Berwick has the lead at the break. It's Berwick 17, Pittston area 14. We'll check first half stats. Stay with us. We'll also have some scores with Raven Klein coming up during this halftime. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
You haven't had the best until you've been to Romeo's Italian Submarines. Romeo's Italian Submarines. You've got to try them. Romeo's menu includes their popular wings, wraps, ice cream, and so much more. Romeo's Italian Submarines. Open till 9 Sunday through Thursday until 10 Friday and Saturday. Visit Romeo's Italian Submarines at 1306 Orange Street in Berwick or visit their Facebook page to check out their delicious menu and their specials. They also offer delivery to the local Berwick area. Romeo's is a proud supporter of the Berwick Bulldogs football team. Go Dogs!
If you have a child that's interested in gymnastics, or if you've been practicing the sport for years, then Access Gymnastics Academy is where you want to be. Their dedicated coaches will teach you everything you need to know to perform your best, from the basics of flexibility, form, and style to advanced techniques that will improve your rhythm and style during a routine. Call Heidi Rebuck at Access Gymnastics Academy at 570-441-5969. That's 570-441-5969. Now enrolling for beginner to advanced classes at 917 East 7th Street in Bloomsburg.
Berwick Bulldog football, HLM.
In high school football tonight, at halftime, Southern Columbia leads Bloomsburg 35-0. In the second, Montoursville leads Central Columbia 36-0. At halftime, Danville leads Midwest 28-0. At halftime, Hazleton area and Wilkes-Barre area are tied at 7. At halftime, Dallas leads Wyoming Valley West 27-6. In the second, Crestwood leads Tunkhannock 20-0. At halftime, Lake Lehman leads Nanticoke 35-0. At halftime, Montgomery leads Northwest 10-7. At halftime, Williamsport leads Wyoming area 7-0. At half, Hughesville leads Warrior Run 18-7. At half, Jersey Shore leads Shikellamy 40-0. At half, Central Mountain leads Selinsgrove 7-0. At half, Shamokin leads Milton 30-0. And at half, Blue Mountain leads Jim Thorpe 7-6. For HLM Sports, I'm Raven Klein.
Berwick Bulldog Football, HLM.
Halftime from Yatesville's Charlie Trippey Stadium, and Berwick leading Pittston area by a score of 17-14. Andy, at this time last week, we were talking about Berwick's offense generating just 21 yards of total offense in the first half at Lake Lehman. A little better tonight.
Yeah, 104 yards is their total, and that's very nice. 81 on the ground, 23 in the air. And there was a 13-yard loss on a bad pitch, so you got to subtract that, and you still come up with the 104 yards after just 21 at halftime. They're also playing some, nice ball control. I didn't add up the total number of plays as I do it in my head. 21 plays for Pittston, and Berwick's run 35 plays. And that's part of the option. It's what you want to see. You mentioned a 15-yard drive ending with that field goal, and I was saying all the reasons he could miss that field goal. Bad angle up close. Mention the wind that could be a factor, and you got to mention a grass field now. It's harder to kick off of a grass field. That Brendan Hinkle didn't let any of it bother him as he broke the tie and has Berwick ahead here at halftime, 17-14. Let's start with Berwick's numbers. Among their runners, they had 24 rushes for 81 yards. They had 91 positive yards and lost 13 on a bad pitch. We'll attribute that to team stats. Aiden Mason came out and looked really strong. His first two carries he had 15 yards, and then they pitched him a sweep, and whatever was bothering him during the week, a thigh bruise or whatever, he looked slow, he looked unsteady, he fumbled the ball forward, and we haven't seen him since. So it looks like his night is finished with 3 carries for 15 yards, but was very strong early running the veer. Logan Smith has taken over at fullback, and he's not prototypical fullback size, but he can give it to you. He's not afraid of running inside. Very impressed with his strength and speed and vision. He has 7 carries for 27 yards on the game. Blake Maurer running one of those sort of wing backs that comes in half motion, becomes a setback, and becomes a pitch man. He has 3 carries for 10. Devin Smith has looked good. He's been in that same wing back, half moon motion, pitch man role. 4 carries for 19. Blazing speed. He's run some reverses and has looked solid. We mentioned the team lost 13 on 1 bad pitch. And then Benny Knorr, the quarterback, well, hey, he's just about leading the team. He has 23 yards on 6 carries. 1 running out of passing formation, splitting the defensive line and showing great balance on that particular run. I have him 6 carries for 23. Add up all the tallies, a total of 81 when you factor in the minus 13. Without that, it would have been 91 yards on the ground at halftime. Passing game, not as successful. 3 completes in 11 attempts, and there just has not been protection. We've been seeing Benny Knorr forced to pull it down and run, or forced to throw it on out where his receivers aren't there. We've also seen some drops. We saw 2 bad hands plays that would have been very easy completes, and some big gains had the receivers helped him out a little bit. Among the receivers who have looked strong, Sean Sheptock. They basically have thrown the ball to him sideways, and he ran for 10. They let him run his man off and stop at 3 yards, and he got a 6-yard gain. So 2 catches for 16 to him. And the speedster can go deep as well and fight for the jump balls. I expect to see some of that in the second half. Blake Maurer has the other catch, and it was a big one on a 3rd down play. They needed to convert and get to the chains. Caught him swinging out of the backfield, ran a beautiful run after the catch, extended the ball to the chains to get the 7 yards he needed to continue the drive that eventually ended up with the score. 23 yards in the air on 3 of 11 passing for Benny Knorr. No interceptions, no threat of any. 81 on the ground gives Berwick a total of 104 yards here at halftime. Looking at Pittston, it looked like it was going to be a one-sided game, but boy, give them credit. They've come back, and they've showed some offense, and they've showed some defense. In fact, we have a nicely competitive game going here. On the ground, 40 yards. They seemed to start out like they were going to have a better night than that, but then got away a little bit from their game plan. 40 on the ground and 106 in the air for a total of 146. Now, they ran Rahim Patterson. They've been running in between the tackles a little bit. He started with a 10-yard gain, but he's been going downhill since. I have Rahim Patterson with 5 carries for 6 yards. David Sudo, just a sophomore, but what a player he seems to be, offense and defense. They let him carry one. He ran over a linebacker and burst for 32 yards on his singular carry of the night. I'd feed him the ball a little bit more. Team suffered a fumble, lost 6 yards on that before it was scooped up by Taji Taylor and taken the rest of the way for a touchdown. And P.J. Pisano, the quarterback, he has 2 carries for 8, including a 6-yard touchdown. I didn't really think he'd get in. Passing, Pisano is 6 of 12, no interceptions, 106 yards in the air. The man to keep your eye on is David Bebb. He's 6'5", he's a mismatch. 2 catches, 34 yards, including a 27-yard touchdown. Berwick's been trying to get some matchups with him. They're trying the taller sophomore Rowan Slabinski to neutralize him, but it's experience versus youth in that one. We'll see how that plays out. John Simons, tight end, has 2 catches, a total of 62 yards. He caught one and rumbled for 43. Rob Barberi, the coach's son, has a 2-yard catch. Rahim Patterson out of the backfield took 1 for 8. 6 of 12 passing, no interceptions for either team, 106 in the air. A net of 40 on the ground, 146 for the Pittston Patriots. Berwick has 104, which is less total offense, but they have a scoop and score from Taji Taylor, making the difference, plus that field goal, Jim. So you don't always have to win it one way. You can play ball control, you can do other things, and have the advantage.
17-14. Berwick leads Pittston area. We'll be back with the second half kickoff. You're listening to Bulldogs Football and Sports Radio, HLM.
Riverview Block of Berwick, with over 75 years of service, can handle all your block and concrete needs. They carry all sizes of concrete block, including decorative E.P. Henry landscaping block. Their concrete is PennDOT approved and delivered with front discharge trucks. Riverview Block also carries masonry supplies, tools, cement, sand, and stone. For prompt delivery, call Riverview Block, 570-752-7191. Riverview Block is proud to support the Berwick Bulldogs.
Northeast Pennsylvania, it's your home. And no matter what stage of life you find yourself in, what you rely on most is security. When that house becomes a home, the moment you get that new car, when your dreams become a reality, it's times like this when you have to look to the experts for advice and financial peace of mind. They're there with innovative products and services to help you with your financial future every step of the way. Together, they will help dreams and goals become reality. They are more than a bank. They're your neighbor. They are First Keystone Community Bank, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
Ask Ameriprise financial advisor Jeffrey McKinnon, certified financial planner, about the exclusive Confident Retirement Approach. It's a personalized, flexible, step-by-step approach toward financial balance. Call Jeff today at 570-520-4137. The office is located at 118B East 3rd Street in Berwick. The Confident Retirement Approach is not a guarantee of future financial results. Investment advisory products and services are made available through Ameriprise Financial Services, a registered investment advisor.
Yannick Real Estate is your full-service real estate agency. Buying, selling, residential, commercial, multifamily, land, and rental management. Call Yannick Real Estate. Owner Mike Yannick, a veteran himself, served his country and has been serving this area for decades. Mike and his staff will guide you through the real estate process. Veterans, be sure to check the VA loan options. Yannick Real Estate, your full-service real estate agency. 1232 West Front Street in Berwick. Call 759-3300.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football. WHLM Bloomsburg. WBWX Berwick. HLM.
Just a couple minutes away from the start of the second half here at Charlie Trippi Stadium in Yatesville. Berwick leading Pittston area by a score of 17-14. Much more competitive game than most of these games in this series have been. I mentioned earlier, Berwick leads the overall series 35-2, and they've won 14 consecutive games, including 46-0 last year. We didn't know what to expect really from Pittston area, this being their first game of the season, and the fact that they had to replace most of their starters, just 5 starters back from a year ago. But they've got some weapons. They've looked pretty good, and you have to hand it to them. It would have been easy to get down in the dumps after that terrible start.
And they look well coached, Jim. You know, you see the discipline. You're not seeing penalties. You're seeing solid execution. You know, will the talent match up with everybody else on their schedule? You know, that's to be seen. But I'm impressed by what I'm seeing of Pittston in this game. Berwick looks solid, but Berwick looks and is young. You mentioned the people they really counted on to be offensive production in this season was Blaine Cleaver, out indefinitely. Aiden Mason, you saw what he did when he was in. We won't see him the rest of this game, according to the coaches. So you're going with, you know, first-time quarterback, a lot of backs that haven't seen that much action. You're going with a very inexperienced line, and, you know, defense, I mentioned last week, 8 new starters at positions they've never played. So it's a young Berwick team that's going to progressively get better each game, and a competitive game like this is going to do them a world of good.
Pittston area has never led in this game, but trailing just by 3, they will get the football to start this second half. Coolish evening, more like an October 18th than a September 18th, and boy, just so strange to look across the way and look at the entire visiting bleachers and not one single Berwick fan there. It's just that kind of strange season that we better get used to.
When I started at Southern Columbia,
that was about the crowd.
That's about the crowd.
Different circumstances.
Yeah, only our bleachers weren't that high. They were about 6 rows high.
That pandemic, that was a pandemic of losing, not a pandemic of COVID.
Also strange without a band. You know, we didn't have a halftime show. We didn't have a pregame. They played the anthem. Well, that's fine, and you're going to be cautious. You know, they're going to take their tips by what the government and guidelines allow them to do, but it is strange, almost echoing.
By correction, Berwick will get the football to start this second half. They kicked off to start the game, and that was that disastrous start for Pittston area with Berwick recovering that kickoff. So the Bulldogs will get it. Last time they had the football late in that half, they put together a terrific drive, 15 plays, ending in that 25-yard field goal by Brendan Hinkle. Anthony Thomas will kick off.
Berwick doesn't believe he's going to be able to kick it very deep. The 2 returners are up on the 15-yard line.
Those returners are Isaac Tripp and Devin Smith. Thomas approaches the ball. Second half underway. Low line drive kick. Tripp will field at the 18-yard line to the 20, the 25, the 30, and hit hard over the 35 at the 36-yard line.
Good pop. Single-digit number. Check it out. Number 8, Jimmy Spindler. We haven't called his name a lot, but in a number of critical situations, he made a big block in preserving a punt from being blocked. He's made some specialty team plays. I like the way he plays football. When he hits, you know it.
First and 10, Berwick the 36. Now the officiating crew all emerging and stopping play for some reason.
Not looking at any player, so it's not a question of equipment or blood. Is it a question of the clock? 11:35. Could we have gone through 25 seconds on the kickoff? I think they want to put a few more seconds back up there.
Yeah, just 5 seconds elapsed according to the officiating crew. Still looking up at that scoreboard far to our left as Berwick has it. Pretty good field position. First and 10, their own 36.
Fullback Mason Lawbaugh. A little change of looks as Berwick will start the half, but, you know, you don't sneak him in and hide him now because of this delay in getting the clock restarted. I'd expect him to take this fullback dive and try to do some punishing run on the veer.
11:45 is what they've put up there. Just underway here in the third quarter. As the call goes off the right side to Sean Sheptog. And he gets the pitch and gets his first carry of this game A good first down play over the 40 to the 44-yard line.
Maybe Berwick wanted Mason Lambaugh to come out, shake those long tresses, and be noticed. I was thinking he'd take it up the middle, and I think Pittston was expecting fullback dive, but the speedster Sheptock on an 8-yard gain.
Sean's been wide out for much of this game. He's on a wing to the left now. Second down call coming. Call goes to Mason Lambaugh up the middle. He's got the first down over the 45 near the 48-yard line.
And Berwick's linemen exploding and pushing people a little bit as well. They're a little lackadaisical in pass protection. I don't know how they've done on the run blocking, but there you could see the right side of the line dominating Pittston.
3 yards for Mason Lambaugh. 1st and 10 Berwick at their own 47-yard line. Peyton Williams, Braden Boone, wide receivers to the right side. Sheptock on a wing to the left. Mason Lambaugh almost broke out of his stance, but Knorr back to throw, looking. Big pass rush. Finally gets it away, complete for a loss to the 41-yard line.
Found Braden Boone about 5-6 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Probably would have been better to throw it away, but you look for your white jerseys, you try to make something happen. So -4 on the pass that Braden Boone does catch. You mentioned Lambaugh almost falling out of the stance. Left guard also moved, Jim. And noticed early in the game last week, they're just not comfortable in their set positions. A little too much movement.
Second down, 13. Berwick at their own 44-yard line. Knorr under center. Man in motion. Knorr pitches it to Maurer. Maurer over the 45 to midfield. Still on his feet to the Pittston area 34-yard line. Blake Maurer gets the pitch. Nicely done by Benny Knorr, waiting to the last moment. And Berwick finally gets an explosion play from that triple option. It comes from Blake Maurer to the Pittston area 34-yard line.
He's talented, Jim, and he's more experienced. The pitch came a little bit low, but he can kind of catch it, still have his eyes downfield. Weaved his way inside the hash toward the center of the field. Did a wonderful job running.
22 yards in the carry by Blake Maurer. 1st and 10 Berwick at the Pittston area 34. Sheptock comes in motion. The call goes to him on the pitch. And he is brought down after a short gain to the 32, maybe the 31-yard line.
Yeah, short of about 4. We'll see where they do spot it. If it's 4, it's a win for the Berwick offense. And that's about where they're stretching it. Different weapons now in this half. We're seeing different fullback in Mason Lambaugh. We're seeing different pitchman in Sean Sheptock. A little bit more out of Blake Maurer. A little more rested and doing a nice job.
And now Logan Smith, who saw the bulk of the carries in the opening half, is the running back behind Benny Knorr in a 2nd and 7. Smith gets the call off the right side. Is hit and dropped as he gets inside the Pittston area 30 to about the 28-yard line. 3rd down coming.
David Bem among those making the tackle, but Logan Smith able to use more of a halfback mindset as he takes that one over tight end and then a little bit wide, but rather directly. The type of thing where I think he's more suited as a runner, getting toward the periphery.
3rd down, about 4 for Berwick at the Pittston area 27-yard line. Again, Logan Smith, the running back behind Benny Knorr. Sean Sheptock on a wing to the left. Maurer comes in motion. Fake handoff. Knorr keeps it and is very close to the first down yardage. Pittston area claiming they have the football, but no indication from the officials.
They have it, but after he was downed. He ran that uniquely. He didn't even finish the fullback dive fake, and he headed right up over center on the inside. So something in his pre-snap read told Benny Knorr, I can get some yardage straight ahead or at least get the first down. And that he did.
Picked up 4 yards on the carry. 1st and 10, Berwick. A nice drive going off the second half kickoff. They now have it at the Pittston area 23-yard line. Bulldogs trying to add to their 17-14 lead. Knorr. Long count. Sheptock in motion, but the call goes to Logan Smith. And the ball comes loose, and the scramble is on at the 21-yard line.
Sean Sheptock fought and got the ball, and he took it away from a linebacker who seemed to have a better opportunity for it. Logan Smith looked like he had nice yardage of 5 or 6 yards, but then the ball's punched out and comes back toward the line of scrimmage. So it will still be a gain, but it would have been more and, very dangerous potential for turnover.
2nd and 8, Berwick at the Pittston area 21-yard line. Sheptock in motion left to right. Pittston area jumps across with that motion.
Yes, they do. Did you see the number, Jim?
I saw
79 Yanchus, 6'5", 340 pounds.
And he wasn't the only one.
Yeah. Benny Knorr is using the hard count to his advantage, and he's using it well. He's not as skilled as some quarterbacks, not as developed or experienced, but he's using the savvy there to get the yards his team needs.
From the 16-yard line, Sheptock in motion. The call goes straight ahead to Logan Smith, looking for the first down yardage. Second effort will get him that.
Well, he runs hard. He's the type of guy you like to see. That attitude keeps everyone playing hard as he fights once he's hit. Keeps the legs churning to get to the chains.
1st and 10, Berwick at the 13-yard line. They ended the half with a 15-play drive. They got a long drive going here, which is now at the Pittston area 13 with 6:50 to go in the third. Bulldogs using a lot of this third quarter clock.
Mixing personnel, Mason Lawbaugh back in at fullback.
First down call. Sheptock goes in motion. The call goes to Mason Lawbaugh. He's got running room, and he's into the end zone for a touchdown. Mason Lawbaugh off the right side, 13 yards for the score.
Oh, he ran well. Jimmy gets at fullback, but he gets in a sprinter's stance. He has the staggered legs forward and backward, like, I'm going to get this. I'm only going to go left or right a few feet, and I'm going to explode. The line gave him the hole. And he just got in there. There were 2 people in the secondary had a shot of stopping him, but he's just too big and too powerful to be stopped. He bounces off of them and takes it in standing.
Brendan Hinkle will try to extend the Berwick lead out of the hold of Braden Boone. Snap by Lanning is there. The kick is up, and the kick is way off to the side, so it fails. Timeout on the field. 6:33 to go in the third. Berwick 23, Pittston area 14. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Do you have the right financial advisor to help you reach your goals? Ameriprise Advisors can create a personalized, goal-based plan to help you prepare for whatever life brings, so you can feel more confident about your financial future. Call Jeffrey McKinnon, Certified Financial Planner with McKinnon Financial Group, a financial advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services, LLC. 570-520-4137. The office is located at 118B East 3rd Street in Berwick, Pennsylvania. Ameriprise Financial Services, LLC. Member of FINRA and SIPC.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football. WHLM Bloomsburg. WBWX Berwick. HLM.
Berwick started this game tonight well. They've started the second half well. A 10-play drive capped on the first rushing touchdown, the career of Mason Lawbaugh from 13 yards out. Altogether a 64-yard drive. Extra point failed, but the Bulldogs lead at 23-14. 6:33 to go in the third. They use almost half this quarter on that drive as a line drive kick goes by Patterson into the end zone. So it'll be a touchback. And Pittston area's first possession of the third quarter will start from their 20-yard line.
Some real nice halftime adjustments, Jim. You take the personnel changes, the changes in packages, and it gives that wing tee the same look, a different look. It's the same plays, but being run by different people. They focus early on seeing Mason Lawbaugh in there. They think he's going to power it, and you pitch it to Sean Sheptock. Then all of a sudden you don't know what's happening, and Mason Lawbaugh's running well. Then bring back Logan Smith, and he runs. I like the mix and match.
I formation behind quarterback P.J. Pisano. He gives it to the tailback Rahim Patterson with a nice first down carry off the left side to the 25-yard line. Andrew Blockus in on that defensive front for Berwick to start this second half.
Tajee Taylor getting in and tripping him up, but he had a nice head of steam. He's going to stretch that for about 6.
Second down and 4 for the Patriots. Anthony Thomas wide right. David Bem wide left. David Sudo is the fullback, head of the tailback. Pseudo gets the call. Not much to it. Brought down after a gain of maybe a yard to the 27. Third down coming.
One of the adjustments I would have made had I been Pittston would be to run David Pseudo a little bit more. He had the second carry of the game for his team, and he bursted for 32 yards. So I certainly would give that fullback the opportunity. However, there, Berwick does squelch that play very well at the line of scrimmage.
Third down and 3. Pittston area at their own 27-yard line. 3 receivers to the right. Pisano sends one of them to the left. He takes the snap, and he's looking to his left. Steps up into it, fires the ball, is tipped twice, and scramble on for the football at the 30-yard line and incomplete.
Oh boy, it was exciting. He looked one receiver, looked it off, and when he finally threw, Berwick gets the hands up and tips it. It bounces up. It goes into a player's hand from Pittston. It's quickly knocked out of there, but it's not a fumble. It's just not a reception. It looks like Berwick may dive and catch that at the line of scrimmage, but eventually falls to the ground.
But, Andy, that's a big 3 and out.
Yes.
You use up almost all the, or at least half of the third quarter, as Berwick did that first possession, and then get the 3 and out. That's big.
And force them to punt to your very dangerous people where they must protect strongly. Very big defensive stand. David
Bem back at his own 10-yard line.
Snapper has to tie his shoe, Jimmy. Tegan Riboldi ready now to snap the ball.
Bem awaits that snap. Long count. Berwick almost jumped across, and I think they did. And that will be a first down for Pittston area. Fair catch by Boone.
Oh, boy.
It hits him. The ball is loose. The scramble is on. Berwick gets it to 35. Just an ugly play from start to finish on both ends.
The 5-yard penalty will give them the first down. I would not have caught that if I was aware. I'd have made everyone clear out of the way and let it bounce all at once. But they tried for a fair catch. A man runs into the receiver trying to make the fair catch.
And the penalty is against Pittston area. A motion call, and Berwick's going to have the football.
Crazy.
Back at their own 35-yard line. Their second possession this third quarter, which has 4:58 remaining. Berwick leading Pittston area 23-14.
Berwick very fortunate. He said the punt return man tried to catch it. A man ran into him. And then there was a question of, did he touch it? Then Bem touches it, thinking maybe I can recover it. And then Berwick very consciously touches it, thinking they have to recover it. And Berwick very fortunate to come up with that fumble on a very crazy play.
Bulldogs have scored on their last 2 possessions. Last possession of the first half, first possession of this third quarter. They now have it at their own 35-yard line. Nor under center. Sheptock in motion, takes the pitch, tries to sweep the right side, lowers his shoulder, defended well by the Patriots. Sean Sheptock will pick up just 2 to the 37-yard line.
Like the way he dropped his head and gave Shane McCracken quite a crack there at the line of scrimmage. As sometimes the people who play in the secondary or play at wide receiver don't get as physical as they need to. He's been playing up as sort of a linebacker, more physical in the running game, and that was a good almost helmet-to-helmet pop.
Second down and 8. Berwick at their own 37. Logan Smith is the running back. Behind Benny Noor. Sheptock in motion left to right. Smith gets the quick hitter straight ahead. Strong effort by him out to the 44-yard line.
And look at his linemen leading the charge. They're downfield 5 yards as well. Among them, we see the center. That's Jake Lanning leading the way. Powerful run behind a powerful explosion of the offensive line.
Third down and 1. Berwick at their own 44-yard line. Pittston area will get the big guys. Steven Yanchus in on this short yardage play. 6'5", 340-pound senior. Mason Lawbaugh comes in for Berwick at the fullback spot. Third and a yard. Sheptock in motion. Lawbaugh gets the call, hit behind the line, breaks free, and gets the first down. Good effort by Mason Lawbaugh. Nice penetration by the Patriots. They couldn't bring him down behind the line, and he gets enough for the first down.
He had to run laterally, Jim. You know, he'd like to power ahead, but that time it turned almost into a sweeping action as there was penetration. Had to use some finesse, but happened to have it in a sidestepping action and then stepping past the chains to get the critical first down.
3rd and 1, he picks up 3. Berwick at their own 47-yard line. Bulldogs playing keep away here in the third quarter. Slot to the right side. Pitch to the left to Blake Bauer. Makes one man miss. Can't make the second and third man miss as he's brought down after a gain of just about a yard to the 48.
Bem had the penetration. He was able to elude him and turn it upfield, but then Jimmy Spindler coming in limits it to less than a yard.
2nd down and 9. Blake Bauer's been struggling with an ankle, and he's limping noticeably now as he goes to the sideline.
Oh, more than limping noticeably, hopping off the field on the far side.
2nd down and 9. Devin Smith will replace him in the Berwick offense. Bulldogs at their own 48-yard line. And Berwick will be forced to use a timeout here. 2:21 to go in the third. Bulldogs lead the Patriots of Pittston area 23-14. You're listening to Berwick Football on Sports Radio, HLM.
Northeast Pennsylvania, it's your home. And no matter what stage of life you find yourself in, what you rely on most is security. When that house becomes a home, the moment you get that new car, when your dreams become a reality, it's times like this when you have to look to the experts for advice and financial peace of mind. They're there with innovative products and services to help you with your financial future every step of the way. Together, they will help dreams and goals become reality. They are more than a bank. They're your neighbor. They are First Keystone Community Bank. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football. WHLM Bloomsburg. WBWX Berwick. HLM.
Berwick with the football following their timeout. Bulldogs facing a 2nd down and 9 at their own 48-yard line. Injuries have been a problem tonight. 2 key runners, Aiden Mason and Blake Maurer, weren't fully healthy when they came in, and both are on the sideline with injuries incurred tonight as the Bulldogs face the 2nd down and 9 following the timeout. Mix up and the inside handoff. Sheptock gets it, tries to get outside, down the sideline, 45, 40, and tripped up at the 35-yard line. That double handoff, the inside reverse, if you will, but it didn't go smoothly. A couple of players almost ran into each other. Sheptock ended up with the football and used his speed to get to the Patriot 35 and a first down.
Yeah, they put it in, but how many repetitions has Sean Sheptock had? And as he had it with that man giving him the handoff. It's a unique play. Who's inside, who's outside? And that time there was question. Rahim Patterson upended Sheptock at the end of that. And Sheptock pulling him up for the good tackle.
17 yards on the carry. 1st and 10 Bulldogs. Option left. Noor pitches the ball to Devin Smith. He's dragged down after a short gain. As Rahim Patterson comes from the secondary to make the play. 2nd down coming. And boy, Berwick has really played ball control in this third quarter, which has just 1:20 to go.
And they need to, Jim. You mentioned the injuries, and injuries suffered here. We saw Blake Bauer limping off. They've been fortunate with some interchangeable parts, using people they weren't planning to use in some of these positions tonight in the backfield, and yet the team has, done a nice job of working.
2nd and 8 from the Pittston area 33. Sheptock in motion. They're going to pitch it to him. He tries to turn the corner, stiff arms the tackler, has the first down, and then some good effort by Sean Sheptock as he gets to the 23-yard line.
At the line of scrimmage, well, first he had to fight with the pitch. It was a little off, but it's going to be. You have to be able to go up, down, left, right, and he made the play. But then at the line of scrimmage, Shane McCracken was in position, but a very physical left arm, straight arm by the runner. Really did a job. Sean Sheptock showed that he's playing physical ball.
He had a 17-yard run on this possession. He just ran 10 for a first down at the Pittston area 23.
5 carries, 40 yards on the game.
Perhaps the final play of this third quarter as Noor fakes handoff, keeps the football, has running room into the secondary, inside the 15, down around the 12-yard line. Good effort. Benny Noor is looking more and more comfortable at that quarterback spot running this triple option. He picks up a first down on what will be the final play of this third quarter. With the score, Berwick 23, Pittston area 14. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Yannick Real Estate is your full-service real estate agency. Buying, selling, residential, commercial, multifamily, land, and rental management. Call Yannick Real Estate. Owner Mike Yannick, a veteran himself, served his country and has been serving this area for decades. Mike and his staff will guide you through the real estate process. Veterans, be sure to check the VA loan options. Yannick Real Estate, your full-service real estate agency. 1232 West Front Street in Berwick. Call 759-3300.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football. WHLM Bloomsburg. WBWX Berwick. HLM.
Three quarters in the books here at Charlie Trippey Stadium at Pittston area. Wait, Andy, this is what Carmen DiFrancesco, when he switched to the triple option, this is what he was envisioning. In that entire third quarter, Pittston area had the ball for 3 plays.
Ball control, the name of the game. He has the personnel. He knew he had the personnel to run it. And even with some of the personnel he was anticipating banged up. In fact, he figures probably the 3 key people in quarterback Blaine Cleaver, Aiden Mason, your fullback, and probably Blake Mowers, your number 1 pitchman. He's still able to make this go. So they've sold the wing T to this team, and boy, a game like this one, everyone's going to buy into it.
The triple option.
Triple option.
And Berwick with a chance to add to their 23-14 lead as they have it. Moving from our left to our right at the Pittston area 12-yard line. 1st and 10, Bulldogs. Logan Smith, the running back, behind Benny Knorr. Smith gets the call, lowers the shoulder, tries the right side, gets inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
He is one tough runner. John Simons, their best linebacker, met him in the hole. But it ends up where Logan Smith wins the collision and knocks him back.
Ball at the 7, 5-yard pickup. 2nd down and 5 Bulldogs. As Mason Lawball will come in now, replacing Logan Smith. Smith listed at 5'7", 160. Just seems bigger the way he runs.
He runs with a physicality as if he's a 200-pounder.
From the 7-yard line of the Patriots. Mason Lawball is the running back behind Benny Knorr. Lawball gets the call off the left side, inside the 5, and they are marking him short of the goal line. Mason Lawball had a 13-yard touchdown run earlier. Almost got one there.
He danced. You know, you think of him as nothing but power. But on the first down play that he needed to get a yard or two, he was able to dance and get it going the other way. Now he sidesteps a person at the line of scrimmage and makes it happen. A very nice run, but holding against Berwick. Pull them out, back them up in the red zone.
It'll bring it back to the 12-yard line, where it'll be 2nd down and 10 from the 12. Just underway here in the 4th. This would be a huge score for Berwick as they already lead it 23-14.
Only one pass in this half.
Pitch to the left side to Devin Smith. Turns the corner at the 5. Smith headed for the pylon. Waiting to notice from the officials. I look at 4 of them. No indication.
You missed the 5th.
The 5th guy says he is in for the score. 12 yards for the touchdown. The pitch to Devin Smith.
Devin Smith took that pitch and exploded with it over the left side. He had 10 yards before you knew it. You know, Berwick, after that penalty, wasn't in a great situation. But it was going to be a collision at the pylon. The side judge standing right there awards the touchdown. Devin Smith, after a fine run, gets his 6-pointer.
Brendan Hinkle will attempt the extra point. Jake Lanning does the long snapping for the Bulldogs. And Braden Boone will hold. Snap is right there. Placement. Kick is up, and the kick is good. Time out of the field. 11:04 remaining. Berwick 30. Pittston area 14. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Mason's Monogramming has the largest selection of Bulldog items in Berwick. Family owned with more than 30 years experience and new Bulldog wear for every age, including masks, tees, polos, sweater shirts, jackets, and hats. They even have brand new indestructible silicone cups, koozies, car coasters, decals, and more. Shop at masonsmonogram.com for their new items and select in-person pickup or shipping right to you. Follow their Instagram at Mason's Monogram for their latest new items. Mason's Monogram service in Berwick. Let them personalize for you.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football. WHLM Bloomsburg. WBWX Berwick. HLM.
Bulldogs have it going offensively here in the second half. And actually, late in that first half, they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions. They lead Pittston area 30-14, 11:04 to go in the game. Sequel's kick will be fielded by Rahim Patterson on the run at the 20-yard line to the 25 to the 30, and he is brought down just over the 35-yard line. So Pittston area has had the ball for 3 plays from scrimmage and a punt in this entire second half, and we've got 10:57 to go in the fourth.
They want to do better than that. Ryan Mendez Tejeda coming in and making a very nice tackle on the very dangerous return man Patterson. We'll see how Pittston tries to get it going. They mix pass and run very well in the first half.
Kind of offense Berwick's running puts the pressure on the opposing offense.
Got to do it now.
Pisano takes the snap, play action, back to throw. Looking over the middle to Bem, incomplete. Overshot his mark. Braden Boone on the coverage for Berwick.
Yeah, he's been locking on. We saw some of Rowan Slavinsky earlier in the game, was a little bit taller. It has been Brandon Boone of late. Both of them are sophomores. Brandon Boone stands at 5'8", and again, Bem, the man he's trying to cover, at 6'5".
Second down and 10, Pittston area. The ball at the Patriot 35-yard line. David Bem wide to the left. Again, Braden Boone locking in on him. Pisano pitches the ball to Patterson. He'll try the right side. Rahim Patterson is gained tackled as he gets to about the 38, maybe the 39-yard line. Third down upcoming. You know, you look at the results of this game tomorrow, you might think, boy, why did Pittston area's offense slow down in the second half? They just haven't had the ball.
Haven't had the ball, and Benny Knorr limiting that pitch, turning it inside, and a lot of people getting involved in the play. But from that sort of outside linebacker position, he had the best shot at the runner. And Rahim Patterson is a very good runner, and yet they've held him in this game to just 16 yards.
Third down and 6. Patriots at their own 39. Pisano out of the gun. 3 receivers to the left. He's rolling to the left. Stops, plants the feet, fires a bullet pass out to the 45, and it goes incomplete. Pretty well thrown, but Rob Barberi couldn't come up with it. Benny Knorr on the coverage for Berwick. So Pittston area, another 3 and out.
Benny Knorr is with him, and it's thrown very low, way down at the knees as the man is moving. That's a very, very tough catch. Had he caught it, he'd been falling forward, and I don't know if he reached the chains. You'd probably have to punt anyway.
Braden Boone and Isaac Tripp back for Berwick, anticipating the punt from David Bem.
Isaac Tripp and Braden Boone back deep.
Keegan Riboli does the long snapping for the Patriots. Bem back at his own 23. Good snap. Gets the kick away. Low line drive kick will be fielded on a hop at the 31-yard line by Boone. Gets away from one man and returns it out to the 40-yard line. So good field position for Berwick to start this drive. And this offense has scored on 3 consecutive possessions. Bulldogs lead the Patriots 30-14, 9:45 remaining.
Jimmy, would you have fielded that punt on the bounce?
Yes, only because I'm fearless.
He might have been a little too fearless. You know, part of me is, get away. Don't have a mistake. It was a bit of a short hop. He did prevent 20 yards of a bouncing ball, but boy, they were coming down on him pretty quickly. So Boone fearless on that one. But, taking a little bit of a risk.
Credit Berwick's offense playing well despite the injuries to Aiden Mason and Blake Maurer. As Berwick at their own 40-yard line, moving from our left to our right in this final period. Tripp is in that lineup, but the call goes straight ahead and again out to the 49-yard line. We've got our third fullback in this game.
Ryan Bankus is the number I have, at number 28. I don't have him on my score sheet, but he knifed through there from fullback for 9 yards.
The 49-yard line, second down and 1. Ryan Bankus, a 5'7", 150-pound sophomore. This is a sophomore class for Berwick. Very, very talented. First time we've seen Bankus, but we've seen a number of other outstanding players from that class. Second down and 1. Bankus again, the running back. Tripp in there, comes in motion. Bankus straight ahead. Good effort by him. Carries a tackler or two to a first down at the Pittston area, 48-yard line.
Yeah, he knifed in, got that, right between the right guard and the center, and then would not go down as the linebackers wrestle with him.
Okay, one possession we do not keep is time of possession. One stat we don't keep, and it's overwhelmingly in the part of Berwick in this second half.
Yeah. Colleges are able to keep that. They have a way of doing it. I look at it in the high school game by the number of plays that are run, and Berwick had a significant advantage at halftime. Boy, this second half, tremendous advantage for Berwick in the number of plays run.
From the Pittston area, 48. Noor fakes handoff, keeps the football himself, and goes off the right side, gets to the Pittston area 44-yard line.
David Pseudo,
doesn't look like much. A 4-yard game, but this is exactly what the triple option is all about. You can get those every play. You keep that clock running. You keep possession of the football. Berwick really doing it well in this second half.
And taking their time now in the huddle. We have 40-second clocks in each end zone this week, so the coaches and the players can see it. At this type of game, he's substituting early, 30-14 lead, and taking his time between plays.
Second down and 6 from the Pittston area, 44. Isaac Tripp comes in motion. The call goes to Bankus straight ahead. Breaks through a tackle, gets inside the 40 to the 38. Strong run by Ryan Bankus. He's listed at 5'7", 150. Doesn't look much bigger than that, but he runs bigger than that.
He certainly does. Not afraid to go helmet to helmet. I think there were 2 helmet-to-helmet collisions in that one that he was able to shake off and just keep himself moving.
7 yards in the carry by Bankus. 1st and 10, Berwick at the Pittston area, 37-yard line. Again, the Bulldogs using that clock as we go under 7 minutes to go in this game. Slot to the right side. Noor on the first down call. Gives up the middle to Bankus. Quick hitter, and he gets to the 26-yard line for a first down. Good job by the offensive line. Nice hole for Bankus.
Yes, there was. And as they're trying to read this option, Pittston's just not getting it. Not stopping the first phase of it. They may be fatiguing or they may be becoming demoralized. But boy, Bankus is taking it to them.
12 yards on the carry. 1st and 10, Berwick at the Pittston area. 25-yard line. End of the third quarter. Dallas playing their first game of the season, leading Valley West 48-12.
Oh boy.
Dallas supposed to be in a rebuilding mode. They're rebuilding pretty quickly. From the 25, a pitch to Tripp. Isaac Tripp down the left side has some running room, and Tripp will go the distance for a touchdown. Isaac Tripp on the pitch goes 25 yards for the score.
Wonderfully executed after all the runs inside that we've been seeing to that young fullback in Ryan Bankus. This time the quarterback, Benny Noor, pulls it out, draws the defense to him, a left-handed pitch to the short sideline. Boy, Isaac Tripp explodes once that ball touches him, accelerates, and gets the score.
So Berwick has scored on 4 consecutive possessions. And Brendan Hinkle will attempt the extra point out of the hold of Braden Boone. Boone awaits the snap of Jake Lanning. Good snap. Good placement and good kick. 6:03 remaining. Berwick 37, Pittston area 14. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Whether it's the heat of the preseason or the heart of the postseason, teams will always get a little boost from playing at home. Speaking of a boost at home, State Farm can boost your savings when you combine your homeowner's insurance with your auto coverage. So score one for the home team. Talk to State Farm agents Lori Powell or Sean Black in Berwick, or Melissa Price in Nescapec about big savings for combining home and car coverage. Give State Farm agents Melissa Price, Sean Black, or Lori Powell a call today.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football. WHLM Bloomsburg. WBWX Berwick. HLM.
This was a very, very competitive football game. At the half, Berwick needed a field goal with 2 seconds remaining in the second to take a 17-14 lead, but the Bulldogs have completely dominated the second half. 3 possessions, 3 scores, 37-14 is their lead. 6:03 to go. Brendan Hinkle, following his extra point, will kick it off. And it's fielded at the 16-yard line. The return out over the 30 to about the 34-yard line. That's where the Patriots will put it in play. They've had 2 possessions, 2 3-and-outs, as they just have not had the football. You know, Andy, whatever offense you're running, offense is all about rhythm, and you just can't get a rhythm when you don't have the football.
No, you can't. And, of course, Berwick's defensive players are very well rested and coming in hungry to make some hits.
1st and 10. Patriots at their 35-yard line. We're under 6 minutes to go in this game. Pisano back to throw, rolling right, fires downfield, ball incomplete. Nowhere near any receiver. 2nd down coming.
No, the nearest Berwick player was Rowan Slabinski, who's back there at cornerback, and he made a diving attempt near the sideline. 0 for 4 here in this second half for P.J. Pisano. 4 passing attempts and not that many plays to get a rhythm, as you mentioned.
2nd down and 10. Pittston area at their 35-yard line. Bulldogs with that commanding lead now, 37-14. Harry Puglisi is in at a running back position for the Patriots. He's to the right of Pisano, who waits the shotgun snap.
Evan Meehan in as a linebacker for Berwick.
Back to throw. Kishball in pursuit, and Spencer Kishball wraps him up at the 34-yard line. The sophomore coming a long way from his defensive end position, getting the quarterback from behind.
Pisano, the quarterback, wanted to go straight drop and had it, couldn't see anyone, and really felt the pressure coming from his left, so he rolled to the right. But Spencer Kishbaugh just chased him down, showed superior speed, and made the play.
3rd down and 11. Pittston area looking for their initial 1st down of the second half with 5:15 to go in the game. Ball at their own 34-yard line. David Bem. Wide to the left, 3 receivers to the right. Pisano out of the gun. Barberi comes in motion to the left. Back to throw, looking long for Bem. Played well by Boone. It's incomplete. Braden Boone on the coverage for Berwick. And again, no 1st downs in this second half for Pittston area.
And Boone probably, if he took another step or 2 back and then went to the high point, may have been able to intercept that. However, I think when you realize that 6'5" receiver is lurking in the area, you just make that play as soon as you can. So good defense by Berwick, and they'll send their return men back.
Braden Boone, Isaac Tripp, anticipating the punt. 4:51 remaining in this game. Berwick really dominating the second half with their triple option. Time of possession. Bem back to punt. Pittston area with some confusion. They'll be forced to use a timeout. We'll keep it right here. Reminder that Berwick will be on the road next week at Williamsport. And Williamsport probably going to come into that game with a 2-0 record, doing well at Wyoming area tonight. Meanwhile, Montoursville all over Central Columbia, 43-3 at the end of 3 quarters. Montoursville, the 2-time defending District 4 AAA champion. For Pittston area, mentioned earlier, this is their first game of the season. They were scheduled to open last Saturday at Holy Redeemer, but COVID-19 issues at Redeemer caused that game to be canceled. Next Friday, Pittston area will be on the road at Wyoming Valley West. Patriots' first game, some of the things that head coach Nick Barbieri was concerned with without another game. He says special teams could be a little tricky because you don't work those in scrimmages, which is all they had. Substitutions, the things you kind of take for granted, but they're not to be taken for granted. They've played pretty well.
They've done well. I mentioned well coached. I think the one thing, too, is the fatigue factor, Jim. You're in your very first game, and you have 7 two-way players, and it just seems they've let down a little bit as Berwick's been wearing them down with the option.
Bam gets a low snap, gets a line drive kick. Boone fields it to 38 over midfield and gets to the Berwick 46-yard line. There is a flag down the play. Nice return by Braden Boone.
Yeah, Drew Menendez actually caught him there near midfield and was able to bring him down to the sideline. Nice return. He has that good vision. In fact, Berwick has very dangerous return men. One of my concerns is that they take too many risks. I felt they took a short bounce that was a little risky, but they made it work. We saw them earlier when they were seeing a punt from left to right where someone ran into a man who was trying to make a fair catch. Last week, ball bounced. Instead of clearing out and running away, they stayed near it. Those are coachable points, though. There's tremendous talent in these Berwick returners.
I did not understand the signal from the referee as to what the penalty was, but I know it's a big one. It's back to the 25-yard line. That's where the Bulldogs will have it with 4:40 remaining in this game, and they lead this one 37-14.
I wasn't paying attention, Jeff.
Last time out, it was Ryan Bankus, a sophomore, who got a lot of the controls. Now Matt Lonsinski, a sophomore, transfer from Hazleton area, first year Berwick, at the quarterback controls as he hands off to Bankus, who goes off the left side and picks up about 3 to the 28-yard line. Lonsinski suffered a broken hand and had his cast taken off right before that Lake Lehman game. He was doing pretty well in the preseason as a quarterback, and he's in there now for the final 4:15 of this game.
Brian Bankus letting him know where he was aligned, tapping him from behind. Nice teamwork.
Second down, Bulldogs at their 28-yard line. Isaac Tripp comes in motion. Lonsinski gives it straight ahead. And it's Bankus again to the 31-yard line. Andy's mentioned this a couple times. The Bears repeating this offensive line had some issues pass blocking in the first half. So as far as run blocking, they've been pretty good.
The option helps you as a lineman. You get angles where you block certain people, and certain people you just leave alone because they're going to be optioned. If they're free and they play you, you pitch it. If they come down when they're free, you let the quarterback keep it. They've done a nice job in exploding out and getting good blocks this half.
3rd and 3. Lonsinski will keep it himself. He will not get the first down. And Berwick will be denied for the first time in this second half as we go under 3 minutes to play.
4th and inches, but Berwick going to bring the punting team on. Pittston sending their people on back.
Sean Sheptock will punt it away. Rob Barbieri. Harry Puglisi deep for Pittston area. Berwick will look at that play clock and use as much as they can.
Again, a good coaching point. No call for the snap till you're under 5 seconds.
And Sheptock gets the kick away very short, extremely high, and will go out of bounds near midfield. So Pittston area will get it, and they'll be looking for their initial first down of this second half with just 2:20 to play in the game, and Berwick leading at 37-14.
Pittston just hasn't been able to make much happen, Jim, in this half. They just haven't had the ball all that much. 0 for 5 passing for Pisano, as Berwick seems to have done some different looks to take some things away. little more pressure, some matchups that they feel are going to be a little bit better, taking some of these receivers away, especially Bem.
Patriots from midfield. I formation. Pisano under center. Gives to Puglisi off the right side. Harry Puglisi with a good effort into Berwick territory. Gets to the 44-yard line. Picks up about 6 on the play.
Yeah, they have a big fullback in front of him as well that we haven't seen in John Morris. So Pittston substituting as well as Berwick subs. Usually the coaches will exchange the favor, give their people some playing time, and Harry Puglisi there with a nice 6-yard gain on an isolation play.
2nd down and 4, Pittston area. 1:45 to go in the game. Wide receiver to either side. Again, Puglisi, the tailback in the eye. Gets the call again, tries the right side. Berwick's up to the task, and he'll get just a yard to the 43-yard line.
Tristan English, that young sophomore outside linebacker that they like so much, coming in and playing very physical against that running back.
So 3rd down and 3 for the Patriots. The ball at the Berwick 43-yard line. Drew DeLuca just entered that lineup, and he will be the quarterback from the 43-yard line of Berwick. DeLuca rolls right, fires a pass, has his man, 1st down on the far side to the 34-yard line.
Drew Menendez catching the ball. Real nice ball handling by the young quarterback who just entered the game. He fooled people and was able to kind of boot around it. Bought himself time toward the Berwick sideline where he found Drew Menendez. Simple little toss to him, and that'll move the chains. First down of the half.
Had to be a thrill for that Drew DeLuca, who's just a 9th grader. Listed at 137 pounds. And looks to be all of that. As the Patriots at the Bulldog 33-yard line. Back to throw. He's going to keep the football. Gets by one man and another, running toward the sideline, and will be forced out of bounds at about the 31-yard line.
Didn't give up on it, though. He's rolling to his left as a right-handed quarterback, and I think he realized very quickly there's no way I can get rid of this. So he committed to the run. Not a speedster, but gave it all he had and gained about a yard.
Got out of bounds with 5 seconds to go in the game. The ball at the Berwick 31-yard line. 2nd down and 7. We'll see if they can provide enough time for DeLuca to head one toward the end zone on what should be the final play of the game. I formation behind him. Puglisi is the tailback. The 9th grader, DeLuca, hands off. Morris, the fullback, calls off the 25-yard line, picks up 6 on the final play of the game as Berwick gets their first win of the season. The final, the Bulldogs 37, Pittston area 14. Stay with us. Raven Klein will bring us updated on scores of other games. Andy Lichty will have the stats, and I'll have the scoring when we return. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
See the winning lineup of Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and also quality pre-owned vehicles at Bear Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram in Berwick. They have a body shop and a full service center servicing all makes and models, and they've been servicing your community for over 30 years. Bear Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram has earned the highest possible ratings from Chrysler and the prestigious J.D. Power Award for Excellence. Need a truck? Bear has a vast inventory, including 2020 Ram Motor Trend Truck of the Year, or choose one of the 50 new Jeeps in stock. Bear Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, Pine Street in Berwick.
Quality care for your dental health at Berwick Dental Arts, 105 West 9th Street in Berwick. State-of-the-art equipment comes together with a tradition of 45 years of personalized care. From the youngest to the oldest patient, let Berwick Dental Arts doctors and staff take care of every aspect of your dental needs. They'll process all types of insurances. Make your appointment today. Call Berwick Dental Arts friendly staff at 752-4542. Berwick Dental Arts, making smiles beautiful.
S.J. Kowalski Heating and Air Conditioning sells comfort. Since 1972, S.J. Kowalski understands the importance of doing business locally. They service what they sell and take pride in customer satisfaction. S.J. Kowalski is a trained comfort specialist, a Lennox dealer, and they are Northeastern Pennsylvania's premier dealer of Mitsubishi ductless mini split systems. S.J. Kowalski also sells and installs energy-efficient Renai water heaters and geothermal systems. Call 1-888-KOWALSKI and ask about special promotions and zero-interest financing.
Forge Pub and Eatery on 11th and Mulberry in Berwick is where you need to go when you want a delicious homemade meal. Even the salad dressings are scratch-made. Open every day at 11 with free delivery to the Berwick area. And check out their Facebook page to get the daily specials. They have a full bar, 10 beers on tap with 5 rotating seasonal brews, and an extensive selection of domestic and craft beers. It's the perfect place to go out with colleagues or for date night. Forge will always impress. Forge Pub and Eatery in Berwick is a proud supporter of the Berwick Bulldogs football team.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football. WHLM Bloomsburg. WBWX Berwick. HLM.
Across the field from us, the Bulldogs of Berwick gathered around head coach Carmen DiFrancesco, celebrating their first win of the season. They do it in convincing fashion over Pittston area here at Charlie Trippi Stadium, 37-14. Game started very well for Berwick. The opening kickoff by the Bulldogs was not covered by Pittston area. It was covered by the Bulldogs' Tajee Taylor at the 28-yard line. That led to a 7-play, 28-yard scoring drive, capped on a 1-yard run by Blake Maurer on a pitched left. Big plays along the way, a 13-yard run by Aiden Mason, who was limited in carries tonight. Got an injury later on. A 10-yard pass play to Sean Sheptock as well. Brendan Hinkle with the extra point. 7-0 Bulldogs, 9:20 to go in the first. Pittston area's next possession. Disaster as a backward pass to Rahim Patterson was not held by Patterson. Loose ball picked up by Tajee Taylor. 31 yards. He goes in for the touchdown. Brendan Hinkle with the extra point. Berwick led 14-0 with 8:51 to go in the first. Looked like it might be easy for the Bulldogs, but it was not in that opening half. Pittston area put together a 5-play, 65-yard drive, capped on a 27-yard touchdown pass, P.J. Pisano, to his 6'5" wide receiver, David Benn. Matt Soy added the extra point. Berwick's lead after one was 14-7 in the second quarter. Pittston area capped a 5-play, 63-yard drive with a 6-yard sweep around the left side by quarterback P.J. Pisano on a 4th down and goal situation. Pisano had a big play along the way, a 43-yard pass completion to tight end John Simons. Matt Sway had the extra point. Score was tied at 14 with 5:42 to go in the half. And then Berwick started to play keep away. 15-play drive. There was just 2 seconds remaining when Brendan Hinkle kicked a 25-yard field goal to give the Bulldogs the halftime lead at 17-14. 16-yard run by Benny Noor, the quarterback, the biggest play along the way. So very, very competitive first half of play, but then it was all Berwick in the second half as they really used that clock. They took off the second half kickoff, put together a 10-play, 64-yard drive. Biggest play along the way, a 22-yard run by Blake Maurer. The drive capped on the first touchdown in the career of Mason Lawball, playing the fullback position from 13 yards out. The kick failed, but Berwick had a 23-14 lead. 6:33 to go in the third, so they used up almost half of the third quarter on that possession. Next time they got it, after Pittston area had a 3-and-out, Bulldogs 10 plays, 65 yards. Devin Smith with his first touchdown. Sweep off the left side from 12 yards out. Sean Sheptock figured in that drive. He had runs of 17 and 10 yards. Brendan Hinkle with the extra point. Berwick led 30-14. And the Bulldogs put the icing on the cake with a 6-play, 60-yard drive when Isaac Tripp went off the left side, 25 yards for the score, showing that great speed of his. That came with 6:03 to go in the fourth. Ryan Bankus was prominent at the fullback spot in that drive. He had a couple of nice runs, including one from 12 yards out. Brendan Hinkle kicked the extra point. Berwick led 37-14. Pittston area had the ball very, very little in that second half, managed only one first down, and the Bulldogs win it by a final of 37-14. We'll check some stats with Andy Lickney when we return. You're listening to Bulldogs Football on Sports Radio, HLM.
IndependenceFord.com is officially announcing the biggest pre-owned vehicle sale in Independence Ford's 35-year history. Huge discounts, great trade values, and the lowest interest rate in years. If you need a vehicle, now is the time. Need a deal on a new vehicle? How about 0% for 84 months on 2019 F-150s? And ask about their lifetime oil change program on all new car sales. Now is the time to shop IndependenceFord.com. Independence Ford, 3101 Columbia Boulevard. Better people, better prices.
Berwick Notary Center, 1544 Orange Street, State Route 93, has been serving the Berwick community for over 50 years with the highest quality service as well as the lowest prices available. They offer services for driver's licenses, instant camera cards, registration renewals, boat, ATV, and snowmobile transfers. And they are messenger and agent approved. Open Monday through Friday, 9 till 5, and Saturday, 9 till 1. Check out their Facebook page or email them directly at berwicknotary@yahoo.com. Berwick Notary proudly supports the Berwick Bulldogs. Go Dogs!
Berwick Bulldog Football, HLM.
In high school football tonight, a final. Southern Columbia beats Bloomsburg 41-0. In the fourth quarter, Montoursville leads Central Columbia 49-3. In the fourth, Danville leads Midwest 55-16. In the fourth, Hazleton area and Wilkes-Barre area are tied at 21. A final, Dallas beats Wyoming Valley West 48-12. In the fourth, Crestwood leads Tunkhannock 27-14. In the fourth, Lake Lehman leads Nanticoke 35-0. A final, Northwest beat Montgomery 21-10. A final, Williamsport beat Wyoming area 35-14. A final, Hughesville beat Warrior Run 37-13. A final, Jersey Shore wins over Shikellamy 53-0. A final, Central Mountain wins over Selinsgrove 7-3. A final, Shamokin beats Milton 37-6. And in the fourth quarter, Jim Thorpe leads Blue Mountain 22-21. For HLM Sports, I'm Raymond Klein.
Berwick Bulldog Football, HLM.
Leading by just 3 points at the half, Berwick dominates the second half, particularly with time of possession. 3 scoring drives. They lead Pittston area and win the game 37-14. Stats in tonight's game. Andy Lickney.
I want to emphasize some of the things about time of possession, Jim, that you've looked at. I have Berwick with 61 plays, and that's incredible for a high school game to have 61 snaps. And I'm not counting any punts in that, just offensive snaps. They held Pittston area in the game to 34 snaps, so you're almost doubling. And when you look at the second half, where they really took control with that option, just 11 plays for Pittston, whereas Berwick ran, just a lot of plays, a lot of plays. 6 running plays, 5 passing plays, and we're looking at some of the stuff in the final minute where, Drew DeLuca was quarterbacking for 4 of those plays where it really didn't matter all that much. So just amazing stuff. Let's look at Pittston first. If we look in the second half, 6 rushes for 22 yards, 0 for 5 passing, just 22 yards in the second half, and most of that by the mop-up people in the final minute. In all, 62 yards on the ground on 17 rushes. Rahim Patterson, 7 carries for 16 yards. David Sudo opened the game with a 32-yard run, and then they kind of forgot about him. Just one more carry after that. He finishes with 33. Drew Menendez finished out the game. He had a 5-yard carry. Harry Buglese in the final minute, 2 carries for 7. The team lost a fumble, lost 6 yards on that before it was scooped up by Tajee Taylor, who ran it for a touchdown. And then the quarterbacks with their rushing numbers: Drew DeLuca, 1 carry, 1 yard. P.J. Pisano, 3 carries, sacked once, scored 1 touchdown, a net of 6 yards for him. That leaves 62 yards rushing net on 17 running plays. The quarterbacks, P.J. Pisano, all but 1 pass and 1 completion. So he'd have been 5 of 16, whereas Drew DeLuca was 1 for 1 in his throwing. 6 of 17. The key receivers, David Bem, 6'5", quite a target, 2 catches, 34 yards, including a 27-yard touchdown pass. John Simons caught 2 for 62 yards. Big tight end rambled for a 43-yarder and had a 19-yard catch. Rob Barberi, 2 yards on a catch. Rahim Patterson, an 8-yard catch. I forgot to add in Drew Menendez's catch. That was a 10-yarder, the one thrown by Drew DeLuca. So give them 116 in the airways, 62 on the ground, and 178 overall in total offense. But again, Berwick's keep away was just incredible when you consider the second half and that just magical option that they did run. Berwick had 50 rushes on the game for 275 yards. They threw 11 passes. So as I mentioned, 61 snaps, not counting punts, a total of 294 yards. The passing game wasn't being called upon because you just didn't need to. 4 completes and 11 attempts for Benny Knorr. No interceptions, 19 yards in the air. Sean Sheptock took 2 sideways passes and then ran for 16 yards. Blake Maurer caught a 7-yarder, and Braden Boone caught one in deep backfield and lost 4 yards as he was tackled in the second half. 19 net yards in the passing game, but 275 net yards in the running game. They did lose 13 on one bad pitch. We'll call that team minus 13. Otherwise, it would have been 288 positive yards. Going in the order I have them, Aiden Mason started the game at fullback, but didn't get too far. 3 carries, 15 yards for him before it was the end of his action. Blake Maurer also seeing an ankle injury limit his time in the second half. He had 5 carries for 33 yards, including a 1-yard touchdown. Logan Smith impressed me. 11 carries for him for 45 yards. Not a prototypical fullback, but he'll run it if you need it. He might be only about 160 pounds, but he'll run like he's 225. 11 carries, 45 yards for Logan Smith. A most impressive game. Devin Smith runs that wing back and comes in the half-moon motion, takes the pitches. He looked good. 6 carries, 32 yards for him, including a touchdown run. Mason Lawbaugh saw action at fullback in the second half. They let him carry 3 times. He had 18 yards, including a touchdown run. Ryan Bankus, the 3rd fullback to enter the game. 4th fullback to enter the game. Give him 6 carries for 38 yards. The cupboard is not bare when you get to that sophomore class. A lot of talent there, and Ryan Bankus looked strong running. Sean Sheptock being used as the wing and half-moon motion and pitchman. 5 carries. I believe they're all in the second half. 40 yards for him. Isaac Tripp, they just let him take 1 pitch, a left-handed pitch from the quarterback, Benny Knorr, and he went 25 yards to pay dirt on that. And Benny Knorr himself running the option, 9 carries, 42 yards. A lot of runners, 50 carries in all on running plays, 288 positive, minus 13 negative, 275 in all. And it really took off in the second half. Of the 275 yards, only 81 yards in the first half. So they really did get it going and mixing and matching and using a lot of different people, but it looked strong. We went through the passing, 19 yards in the air, a total of 294 yards for Berwick on the game, compared to the 168 that they limited Pittston to. They followed the philosophy they want, the game plan, the ball control, the who do you stop, which weapon do you go to. Jim, I think a very impressive performance, plus a learning experience along the way. These are very young players. They're going to get better every game.
Using a lot of different runners, and Benny Knorr just getting more and more comfortable at the quarterback controls, running that triple option. So Berwick with the win goes to 1-1 on the season. They will be on the road next Friday night at Williamsport. We hope you'll join us for the broadcast. It starts as usual at 6 o'clock with the Coach DiFrancesco show. Kickoff at 7 for Pittston area. Next Friday, they'll be on the road at Wyoming Valley West. That final again, Berwick 37, Pittston area 14. For Andy Lickney and our producer Raven Klein, this is Jim Doyle reminding you heard it live on Sports Radio HLM.
You've been listening to Berwick Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM. Brought to you by First Columbia Bank and Trust, with you every step of the way. Forge Pub and Eatery, West 11th Street in Berwick. Bear Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram in Berwick. Berwick Dental Arts, quality care for your dental health. Berwick Notary Center, Orange Street in Berwick. Mason's Monogram Services for all your Bulldog merchandise. The Medicine Shop, East 9th Street in Berwick. Neighbor Fence Company, residential and commercial fencing. First Keystone Community Bank, yesterday's traditions, tomorrow's vision. Red's Roofing, the roofing ninjas of Berwick for all your home improvements. Yannick Real Estate, commercial and residential. The Mayo Funeral Homes of Berwick and Chickasha. Your Berwick State Farm agents Lori Powell, Sean Black, and Melissa Price. Hometown agents who understand Berwick's needs. Riverview Block Inc. of Berwick. Alexander Family Dealership, Central Road off Route 11 in Bloomsburg. Access Gymnastics Academy, East 7th Street in Bloomsburg. Romeo's Italian Submarines and Sasser Sweet Stop, 1306 Orange Street, Berwick. Independence Ford, Route 11 in Bloomsburg. J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling, veteran and military family owned and operated. Tri-County Lumber, South Poplar Street in Berwick. Welsh's Towing and Repair, towing, recovery, and lockout services. S.J. Kowalski Heating and Cooling, the way the earth intended. Jeffrey McKinnon, financial advisor with Ameriprise Financial Services, Inc. With the right financial advisor, life can be brilliant. J. Lilo Jewelers, 140 East Main Street in Bloomsburg. And by Brookdale Senior Living, 420 Schaefer Road in Bloomsburg. HLM is the Valley Sports Leader.
EPHL